What'd you say you have? What'd you say you have MS?
Governor Murphy, something we'd like to address is a really simple thing. I've got multiple sclerosis, and it makes absolutely no sense why I must go and re-up my card every 90 days. MS never goes away. It never gets better. All this really boils down to is being extorted of my money, what little resources I'm afforded from Social Security disability. This must change.
I feel much better now.
that was well said.
Well, besides, if you didn't have to re-up, yeah, but if you didn't have to re-up all the time, then
it is 10 times better.
Like you said, it's just
once a year seems reasonable to me.
I'm curious to know, that money that we spend on the research, does the state see any of that money?
All of it, 100%
all of it.
Yeah.
Well, to research, with the...
Because I go to my doctor, and I give him $100.
And then you have to pay $200 to get your card,
and that,
right?
Well, 100 now.
100? Yeah. Okay, pardon me.
And then if you have a compassion...
Like, I understand the state, they're going to get the fee when you get your license, but the recertification fee, does the state see any of that money?
I think so.
Or you paying your doctor
they probably see every penny
to hit a button. Talking to the mic.
Yes, we are definitely paying our doctors to do that. It just really bothers the fucking shit out of me.
You gotta
just
pay
saying.
your doctor.
Why don't you yell that into the megaphone? I like when you do that. There we go. It's effective.
Free the New Jersey weed man. Today's his trial.
Oh, yeah.
Today we should have a verdict. I'm predicting not guilty. Not guilty on all charges.
It better be not guilty.
They've held him as a political prisoner, a real drug war prisoner, for over 440 days. Enough is enough.
How's everybody doing in this fine weather day?
Well, we got a big show lined up for you.
Mighty big shoe.
Here with Eric, Tracy, we're here with everybody.
Hey.
Richie, Eric from Pure Puff.
Me for my break for a couple weeks, and then you guys will get tired of me.
Yeah, I want to hear about your operation coming up. We're talking about that. We got the guys from the Belkin Brothers coming up.
Oh, we're blowing out the
Belkin
DARE
Brothers
program in Oakland. That's gonna be
doing that.
Pretty cool. It needs to be done. It needs to be corrected.
And also the Weed Man's getting out of jail today.
Hell yeah.
Free the New Jersey Weed Man.
That's the best part.
Lots to talk about, and I will be podcasting that event. I'll explain how.
What time's that happening?
Okay.
We don't know. I'll tell you how we're going to do it in a minute.
We're waiting for it, right?
I can't wait.
Do we have spies there?
I can't wait.
I figured as much. We're sly, we pot smokers. Sly bunch.
Yeah,
Sly.
gotta be.
Crafty.
Coming up this afternoon on the Sativa Cross podcast. Tune in. Here we go. Ready? Psst. Ready? I always go live, and then we could just talk for a few minutes while we...
everyone.
Here comes the theme song, and then we're going to start the show. Then it gets serious.
My boy Lefty.
Or not.
I prefer the or not.
Depends on how much fun we have.
That smells good.
Oh, that smells like mighty tasty medication. I'm so glad people are able to medicate here in New Jersey.
This is great.
And not have to suffer while we're dying as much as we usually suffer when we're dying. Does that make sense? Anyway.
Perfect sense.
Right on.
Bring in the boss one. I'm gonna get mine. Go do the crime. If you can't do the time, don't tell me how you're off and down. When you're smiling in my face, but you play me like a clown and you fool, bitch. So just step back. Or I'm mad dad when I come down straight. I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with?
Lefty.
Let's roll.
Let's roll.
megaphone makes everything funny. It just does.
It does.
Could you imagine her voice like naturally sounded like Oh God, it's Billy again.
People stay, they sway. 4-2 day is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all on top. Don't cross the line that you know is mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
And in comes Wayne Burrini.
Everyone whip out your Burrini.
Wayne Burrini. Wayne Burrini.
Everyone who loves Wayne, raise your hand. Jeez.
Wayne Burrini.
Wayne didn't even raise his hand.
All right, man. Here we are, another Thursday here in Trenton. Season 4, episode 5. Our politicians are on season 1, episode 2. They got to catch up.
They got to be binging this weekend. Binging instead of on the beach, not catching rays, right?
All about the beach this weekend, man. Well, what can I tell you? The beach bomb.
All right, so the housekeeping I have to do real quick is I'm going to get a text because Ed Fortune is getting out of jail today. So
Free New Jersey Weed Man.
What's going to happen is I'm going to get text. I have permission to film.
Free the weed man, yeah.
I got permission to film.
Right
nice.
on.
So they're going to text me as soon as they hear something. I'm going to run. Oh, my God. Oh, what is this?
That's beautiful.
This is beautiful. Oh,
Yeah.
this is a beautiful bud.
Oh,
You just
that's
derailed my conversation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stop and smell the roses.
It's Jesus.
I smelled it.
Danky.
If I put that in my hand again, I'm gonna steal it.
Danky dank. Danky dank.
So what's going to happen is they're going to text me, and I'm going to run, and then somebody random's going to be picked to host
You
the
want me
show.
to hold the mic and chase
All
you?
right.
Choose Wayne. Make Wayne do everything.
Yeah, I'm not running and holding a mic, but
Okay.
I'll host the host.
Wayne-
Yeah, I don't run.
I'll be quiet.
I'm not running either.
Yeah. I hobble.
I promise I'll be quiet.
I'm driving fast. So it should be a good show today.
Right there,
If
so
he gets
step
out, I mean, it's
around.
not like he's going to like take off his
down.
handcuffs and walk out the door. They got to process him out, correct?
Yeah, so he goes
Yeah,
back.
but you
yeah.
want to be there just to, you want to live video stream the whole, everything that's happening, right?
I really want to see the judge's face.
We want to
Yeah.
see little Dickie shrivel.
Oh, man, it's got to be done.
I want to see the judge's face when they say not guilty.
Hey, guys.
Bill Caruso. Hi, Bill
Hey,
Caruso.
Bill.
Bill Caruso, how are you?
How are you, sir?
Well, we're trying.
Come on.
It is a sweeping
Take a
movement,
seat,
Bill.
please.
Okay.
Right on.
Please.
Facebook page. You're too popular. You can't
Yeah, you are, Lefty. You're too popular. You have to take requests only.
I wanted to introduce you guys because Hugh's been here. He's been working with the New Jersey Cannabis Industry Association for a while now. Pete Camerano started that group, the governor's chief of staff. He left. Hugh took it over. And the one thing I'll tell you, I mean, Hugh's been great on making sure that the industry's focused on a lot of things that we've been talking about related to racial and social justice. And the industry doesn't always get that joke. He drills it in them every day. So I wanted to make the connection because I said to him, have you ever met these guys you ever knew? And he said, I tried to join on Facebook, but you're too popular.
I'll send you a friend request. Have a seat, man. Please.
All right.
Yeah, Lefty has to send the friend request. You have to be one of the chosen.
It's a secret password.
I have to get rid of all my undercover informants first.
Yeah.
So, all right, what's your name again? I'm sorry. And
Hugh O'Byrne.
Hugh O'Byrne. Okay, yeah. Okay. I thought you were a
easy to
cop. No, I'm just kidding.
Hugh O'Byrne. We like to burn.
Nice. So tell me about what do you do over there?
So
you do some great stuff.
So with the New Jersey Cannabis Industry Association, we work with industry participants from around the nation and Canada, as well as in New Jersey, to try and come up with helpful recommendations for policy stakeholders to make determinations around policy changes, legal changes, regulatory changes. So that's what we're trying to do. Is there's been a tremendous amount of a long road to legalization in many states. There's a tremendous amount of hindsight that can be garnered from that, and that can be put into place so that we don't replicate the mistakes of others in the past, but learn from them.
Here.
Yeah, we're reverse engineering there are 46 states that I believe that have some sort of legal access to cannabis, if you include the CBD states. There's a lot of water that's gone under the bridge with a number of these states. And by the way, Canada, I know it's a different nation, but it's like attached. Yeah, the markets and the people are and the ideas are in large part, there's lessons there. So why not get those lessons? So we look at where we are with all of these states. We look at thought leaders. We look at industry leaders, operationally leaders, and then sit there and say, okay, here's the context that we're looking at in New Jersey, which gives you certain boundaries of what's realistic, and then say how best can we maximize the market for accessibility, fairness, right, participation, and of course profitability.
There's a lot of problems. Hospitals are taking away the medicine of patients and destroying it, giving it to police, and it's
that's nuts.
It's insane.
It's nuts, and it just needs to get corrected, right? I almost feel like no one's really. They're doing it because you are supposed to do it. I don't think anyone really feels. There are some that feel super passionately about prohibiting stuff. But there's also people now that are just doing it because that's what we've always done, right? You're following some sort of protocol. Well, we need to address the protocols that no one is really backing or few people are backing. And we really need to address the fundamentals of those who still would like to ignore this now international body of continually growing body of knowledge with respect to how beneficial this plant is, which we're only scratching the surface on, for ailments and maladies and wellness concerns of the majority, probably, of the population. So, yeah, I mean, we just keep fighting the fight. It's a lot different now than it was. I kind of started out in 1988, and I feel a lot better today about where we are with cannabis than I did in 88.
Yeah, same as me.
I bet you do.
Wow. What was I going to say? These town councils that are banning cannabis, and they're banning medical cannabis too. What's the best way to approach these town councils? Some of them I yell at. Some of them I'm nice to. It seems like I get more by yelling at these councils. I don't know what to do at this point. They're banning medicine of sick people. And then when I say to them, like Dennis Stack from Union City, I started yelling at him. I'm like, how dare you hurt people in wheelchairs? Because he had no wheelchair access at his police station. I gave him shit for that. And how dare you hurt the cancer patients? He said, Mr. Grimes, stop right there. Both of my parents were in wheelchairs. Both of my parents died of cancer. I'm going to fix this law. He took the law back. He says, we're going to ban recreational, but we're going to keep medicinal cannabis in Union City. So we're getting towns to do that, but what is it? Is it political? Is it ignorance? What is it that these towns are
Fear.
Fear, yeah.
A lot of fear that's misplaced and misguided, which I think that there's going to be fear, and then there's going to be some sort of misplaced
morality.
Yeah, like a desire to control based upon a moral framework that could be
Yes.
very, very difficult to challenge. But I think that's less of the problems that we face, and I think more of the problems that we face is all of people my age, right? I'm the same age and younger than many of the people that are in these councils, that are in mayor roles, that are in the legislature. We all, including myself, started getting involved in cannabis advocacy in the 80s. We all suffer from a prohibition hangover, right? I mean, we all sort of kind of reflexively feel there's something untoward, something weird, something uncomfortable about cannabis, something
Cannabis
that
is
raises our
normal.
hackles.
Something racist, maybe too.
Oh yeah, that's always there. That's always been there. I mean, that was the reason why, and it's also the reason like why not, right? Like why not change? Deep down we know what it is, and that's completely unacceptable, right? But, people might not even know that, right? You build in the fear based on how you've been raised up in the prohibitionist environment, particularly the 80s, 70s,
80
and 80s.
years of disinformation by our
Yeah.
government. Here
So-
are the results, folks.
Right.
You're scaring the shit out of people with an innocuous plant that does nothing.
Right,
but
but
helps
so
them.
you might be involved, right? Like you might be involved in, you might have a view, right? You might have a prohibitionist mindset,
Right on.
and not intend any racist action by that. It's
Absolutely.
that the racism it's so built into the
It's built
system.
in, yes.
Yeah,
It's subliminal.
it's
built right
subliminal.
into it.
It's multi-generational. I mean, some of the roots of this thing go back to before living memory. There aren't many people alive that when this stuff was going down were of an age to know what was up, and that's how deep the roots are. And by the way, this isn't the first time that happened. This is just a continuation of things that go back to the 1600s, right, in this country, right? But if it's fear, and we see a general movement, a general trajectory in the country and in the culture towards acceptance of this, not only the innocuous potential, but the benefits of the plant, right? The medicinal benefits. In fact, I'm so delighted. Most people say, yeah, medicine, I get it. I get there's benefits to it. Wow, no one in the 80s would say that, or in the 90s would say that. Now they're
They'd
saying
laugh at you.
that. So that means we got a teachable moment, or else we wouldn't have gotten us so far as we are. And as you get further, right, we're picking up momentum. So what I say is that frustrating, disempowered, outside voice position that we're in, but with all the facts on our side, frustrating as hell. It just means we have to continue to be there and make that case.
Be consistent.
And it's working, but the process of getting to yes hurts.
Growth is painful, man.
It's painful.
I talk to a lot of police on my Ignorance is No Excuse tour. Off camera. They won't talk on camera. And the stuff they say off camera is just so amazing. I wish they could talk on camera because a lot of these cops are suffering. They get put on Xanax. They get put on Valium, Percocet. They're being victimized by the drug war just like we are. And I'm trying to get these cops job protection so that what's between a doctor and an officer is between a doctor and an officer. And how do I start getting job protection? Because cops can't advocate for it. Their union, we might try to get them to advocate for it. We don't know yet, but I got the bishop on board, I think. I'm trying to get the bishop Jethro
It's a really
James.
good point.
We need to
right?
get cops
It's
protection.
a really good point as to how can we get everyone protection from engaging in a medicinal practice.
Especially public service sector.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think one of the difficult areas is I know a line that I have to be very careful that I walk with the American Legion is that we can't be political because you're not allowed to be political. You have to be very careful about what you do say, what you don't say, what you do represent, what you don't represent. You to be they can't say, oh yeah, we support this. Oh yeah, we support that. Like individually, they have to get directed by national, and if national doesn't direct it, then guess what? You can't say it. It's like
Right.
I've spoken to so many of the legions in New Jersey, and I said, how do you feel about it? And they'll speak to me off record,
Yeah.
but none of them will speak to you on record because
Yeah.
they legally they can't because they'd be crossing their boundaries.
Exactly. Look, we just, what do you come back to? It's all correct, and it sucks. But it's like that journey of 1,000 miles, right? It starts with one step. Well, it's taking those steps. It just means we constantly have to do it. And when certain groups are structured into power, like into federal considerations, it's just brutal to, their hands can literally be tied from really oblique reasons that has really no one saying, oh, I'm against this and pounding the table and being like the father in Footloose, right? Where like no one have any fun anywhere, no one have, no, they're not there. It's just that they might have some covenants in a donor with a investment group that might be a state pension plan that says you can't do this. They might have a charter with a bank where they sign off and say you cannot do something that just violates federal law, and then that means they're in this really uncomfortable place. If I do this, it's not that I'm worried that the feds are going to come get me. I'm worried that I've violated this contract, and people might use that to be like, you know, to hurt, to get away, to so that they just get frozen out.
It's the fear, like you said earlier. It's all about fear. And that's the root of it. It's fear.
We see a lot of people that want to invest. We know of lots of people that would like to invest in the space.
And
you know, big investment money, big money.
And then you have the root of all evil. Which
well,
is the
yeah,
money,
I mean that's
so.
both good and bad, right? It has its challenges and it has its benefits. And it also has a certain inevitability about it. But a lot of them just can't because they've got a different investment strategy in a whole other area, and they've signed a contract with that investor saying they wouldn't do this.
If they're specific foundations,
that's the thing.
Then they're stuck by their bylaws, and their hands are tied.
That's it. Hands are tied.
Yeah, the hands are tied.
That's what I mean about getting past like this
the red
system.
tape. It's red tape.
Yeah. What do you guys think about unionizing some of these recreational or medical cannabis places? How does the industry feel about unions in general?
I mean, I think that the industry and unions in other states have gone toe-to-toe like every industry and unions do. I don't think there's anything particularly negative about the idea of unionization. There's good and bad to both. I mean, one of the things are if you are really pursuing unionization, there's a lot of incentives to concentrate ownership because it's easier to unionize a few big things than dozens of little things.
Sure.
So there are some, like the balance is, okay, let's make sure we allow for smaller businesses, lower barrier to entry participants, or else what you inadvertently doing is
co-ops.
Yeah, but with unionization, what do you do? So we're not against unionization. It's just like that's just something to think about. Like let's make sure that if doing the right thing in one area doesn't inadvertently cause the wrong thing in another area. But if we're vigilant, we can maybe have our cake and eat it too sometimes.
Well, I just have a question about I don't know the correct wording, but regulations or standards is probably a better way of putting it. Like, what are some industry standards we need to see in New Jersey that are across the board the same? So the patients know they can get reliable, quality medication that is the same. Strain-specific medication for...
There are a lot of good work is starting to happen around testing protocols and also like universalizing of testing standards because that is a problem, right? Consistency of and knowledge.
False advertising.
Yeah, well, and that can also come about because we're learning more and more about what to test. But two, how to test is something that's, and I think there's some really good work coming out. Hopefully we have another opportunity in New Jersey to at least get to the front of the thought leadership line on that and say, like, these are what makes some sense that'll help us increase quality, predictability for patients. Very important stuff. And actually, I think if we do that, that actually makes the case for really innovative cultivation approaches to strains. The more we have some good knowledge about what we can end up in dosing, obviously it's easier to do in concentrate, in extracts.
Oh, definitely.
Right, than it is in strains. But we're talking here about like getting knowledge base on our cultivated product. That could actually be a real stimulus for further development of strains because we have more reliable and standardized knowledge about how this particular strain or that particular strain works.
Right on.
So I think there's something like cool and important about having a common language. Right, so the standards do a couple of things. Yeah, like the standards actually like kind of compel quality, compel knowledge, but it also becomes a point of common discussion. right? So I get data sets that have a common language because you have common testing standards. All right, well then with those data sets, I can do stuff. Yeah.
Some numbers, baby.
That's right. And then like take good action. So I gotta.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, Bishop Jethro James brought up some points about testing the water, testing the soil.
I thought that was a great
Sure.
idea.
Stuff I never really thought about.
Make it the same.
You got to make sure that we have to make sure that we are not polluting the medicine, and that the trajectory has to be one of continually refining the improvement of the medicine, and not to allow any sort of like negative either kind of occurring in our waters or people putting stuff in for a pesticide purpose or any of these things. We know cultivating cannabis isn't the easy thing to do at scale, and we don't have a whole heck of a lot of cultivators, so mites happen, mildew happens. This is tough stuff, and testing you want to just make sure that what we say is what we say.
Right on.
Sterile. Yeah. We need sterile environments. I mean, I know a patient that went into a dispensary. There was a scented candle in the dispensary. They had to leave because the scented candle triggered whatever they had going on, and they had to leave. It was just little things like that.
Yeah.
They need to be in a sterile environment.
And just more learning, right? I mean, people make mistakes all the time, and Lord knows I do. So we see it, and then like a good, healthy dialogue between industry, patients, government, hopefully will direct us in the right direction in the future.
So where are you going to be next? What event? Is there an event coming up that we might need to pay attention to as patients that might be beneficial for us to go to?
There could be,
yeah.
One? Take a look at, I think we're planning an event, and I'll come out when I get more detail on that event.
Yeah, come back.
I'll come by with like Bill, and we'll like pop in and tell you, because I think we do have like an important event kind of coming up.
Yeah, patients need some events like this.
Patients,
is good.
yeah, I would like
because we want to be in the loop.
Yeah,
we want to know what's happening.
Yeah, patients and industry together would be pretty cool, because sometimes when you're dealing with the industry,
it gets myopic.
They're not in the room. Yeah.
It gets very myopic.
And the guy that's not in the room is the guy that you don't remember
and
when you're actually doing stuff. So it's the key with all this, make sure everyone's in the room.
Right on.
Because the guy who's not in the room is the guy that gets screwed. Right?
Well, we're done being screwed here in New Jersey. You hear that, Governor? We're done being screwed.
Thank you, Hugh, so much.
Thank you.
Great talking to you
guys. New Jersey Cannabis Association.
Cannabis industry.
Cannabis industry, sorry.
Cannabis
New Jersey
industry.
Cannabis Industry. Thank you, sir.
McBurn. We like to burn.
Cool, man.
That was a nice pop.
That was
Good
a nice
shot by.
This is why I love doing the podcast here, especially on Thursday.
Yeah.
Politicians are walking by, important people everywhere.
Right?
It's great.
Hey,
and
take
Wayne
care.
Burrini,
Thanks
speaking
for
of
coming by.
important
Come by again, please.
Bill Caruso, thank you, sir.
Everyone who loves Bill Caruso, raise your hands.
Yay.
We love Bill. Everyone who loves you, everyone loves you, raise your hand.
What's that?
Right back at you. Right back at you.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Bye, Bill.
Oh, here comes the baritone voice. Thank you, Wayne. Bring it in.
Our buddy Pearson Crosby from
boys.
last week says, hey, what's up? He wishes he was here.
Okay.
Hey, boys and girls, it's Wayne Burrini Show.
Oh, my.
Right? It's close, right?
Lefty, did you hear me?
Do you sing a little Barry White?
Hey, baby. Never find.
Wayne Burrini.
What's up?
Okay,
what's
listen.
Up?
Quick housekeeping before I get interrupted again.
Dun, dun.
I'm getting texted as soon as the jury comes back into the room.
And you're booking.
And I'm booking to get over there and going Facebook Live. I'm going to show Ed
gonna get
Fortune's results,
on.
which he'll get out today. And
so we need to connect to you.
so, yeah.
Who's texting you?
Danny and Karen are over there.
Is there a way for us to be able to connect? Well, you're going like Facebook Live.
I'll be on Facebook Live, so if you guys can figure it out on here, I'll set it up, but I don't know.
Let's just
we'll
keep
just
it
push some
very
buttons.
simple.
Just watch
If
it
you
and
just tell me
report
what
it.
button to push,
Yeah.
I'll make sure it's done. And I'll keep my mouth shut, I promise.
Yeah.
Unless it's a bad verdict, and then I can't promise anything.
Yeah, people are going to be watching it anyway. They're not going to watch this. They'll switch over from this to that and then from back to that. It's going to be crazy.
We'll have the big
Because I'm telling
celebration.
people what to do like all day, like sativa crosses all over my stuff. I don't do anything without
So
that.
I'll leave everything up. You just deal with it. The phones will be down. No phones.
You won't get there in time.
It'll literally take 5 minutes because they'll let people into the room.
Right.
Then they'll talk.
And then they'll give you a couple minutes.
Then the jury gets
Yeah.
called in. That takes about another 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I have enough time to get down the street in 5 minutes and get up
Yeah.
there. I really do. And if not, God didn't want it to happen. That's all I can say.
They just came.
But I
God
think
again.
he does.
The jury
I think
just
God
came
wants
in.
You. I want you. to be there.
God's got
You're not even
Ed's
watching.
back. Who?
The jury came in.
They came in?
Yeah, they have another freaking question.
Really?
Yeah. Well, read your phone.
Oh no.
What's the
Well,
question?
please, their question is probably the same damn question.
But they worded it differently.
Yeah, they probably said, okay, well, instead of reading pages 19 to 23,
Can we read
could you please tell us, yes or no, is it illegal to look up information on your rat? And then the judge is going to be like, okay, just tell them, read fucking 19 to 24. Yeah, another page. Fuck it. Unbelievable with this judge. They ask simple questions and they get these answers where their answers is more homework.
Pearson said have a good day. He's headed to
Disinformation.
D.C. already, so.
Pearson Crosby.
Yeah, Pearson, can I connect with you down
He's
there? I'm
great.
thinking of coming down there for the Veterans March. So.
Oh, speaking of veterans.
I'll PM you later.
Are
Yeah, because the Veterans March is on the 26th, right? I can just.
Saturday. That's
Yeah,
this
Saturday, right? Yeah.
Yo, let's talk
I'm
about
thinking.
patient stuff. I want to talk about this NewJersey.com article.
Which one?
Yeah, I read that article.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about this stuff,
Yeah.
huh?
You don't believe there's lines at the dispensary? I had to wait.
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see what the article says,
I
right?
The line at
I couldn't get my lemon G.
CS
What?
is out.
No lemon
of-
G.
Hey, if you're going to talk, first of all, if you're going to talk, get up on that mic. And if you're going to chew
No, you
really
can't
loud
talk
on the
any-
mic like this. Go.
Don't.
That's awesome.
That's when he turns your mic off. Medical marijuana shortages and longer lines await new patients. This is out of NewJersey.com. On a recent trip to pick up some medical marijuana in Cranberry, Edward Grimes
Hey, that's me.
got in the book. Oh, in the back. I'm sorry. He got in the back of a line he said was the longest he's ever waited in. Really?
That was the line I was on with that
Somehow
guy.
I don't believe that. Somehow I could see you, little Leftina, waiting like fucking, overnight to get Guns N' Roses tickets back in the day. Now you guys can't
Butthole
see
surfers.
that.
Butthole surfers, maybe.
Oh, you're right. It was butthole surfers and maybe Poison. You look like a Poison dude.
Gabby's my boy.
Maybe a little crew.
Nah, he wasn't cool enough for the crew. Nah, but anyway, I'm sorry.
Hurtful.
So, how long was the line?
I'm supposed to go there today.
That was-
I'm afraid.
Get up on that mic. What?
I'm supposed to go there today after here.
Really?
I'm afraid.
Why?
Because an hour line.
Oh, stop it.
No, it wasn't an hour. It was like 15
Stop it.
minutes.
You go right to the front.
Oh, shit. Well, that's a good.
Get up on that mic. I can't hear you.
They're like,
Get up.
oh, it's Amy, our former boss. Hey, hun,
Hi.
just go right
Hi,
in.
boss. Hello, boss.
Hi, boss. Come on right in.
You got the code? Yeah.
Exactly.
Go order the plants for me
Line
again.
cutter,
like you used to do.
you line cutter, you.
Remember, you used to do my job for me? Go in the back. Do my job for me again.
Be your best friend.
No, you got to talk in the mic. That's how it works. You,
What are you laughing about to yourself over there?
I'm laughing about.
I could have the mic back.
oh, boy.
See?
He's going to be like that.
You got something to say? Say
Two
it on-
girls, one mic.
I got something to say. Oh, dude. Wayne.
Shit just got serious.
Sorry. Sorry.
Wow.
Did I go there? Anyway.
Scott Rudder, hey, how are you, buddy?
Scott Rudder.
This is why we're here on Thursday. Now we got Scott Rudder in the house. How are you, sir? New Jersey Cannabis Business Association.
All right, am I going to
Cool,
have to
man.
give up my seat?
man? Good to see you again.
Can we get you on the podcast real quick?
Grab
Come
his
on.
mic there. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, what's
going on?
happening?
How are you? What are you doing here in this
Listen.
fine town today?
Well, this is where I work, man. You know, if you're going to try and influence Trenton, you got to work in Trenton. That's why you guys are here, right?
Yeah. Nice.
Right, yeah, right.
What's on the agenda?
Right now, lunch.
Oh,
Right now, lunch. We're
Nice.
going
That's
to
good.
get some phenomenal barbecue, which is right down the street. So, look at that. There's Wayne brought lunch.
Yeah, you can have lunch here.
We're going to barbecue, man.
Wayne, I told you to bring
Barbecue.
barbecue. Damn it.
So, what's going on with you guys?
Just keeping busy.
Same story.
Yeah.
Access. Need more
Access.
Signing up 100 patients a day.
I know. It's,
Yeah.
it's
but
awesome.
Increasing
it's all.
production.
so-
We need to know about.
Well, there's laws of physics, right? So there's governmental process, then there's laws of physics that follow thereafter. And I think what I know what they're doing. I've been talking to folks in the administration, I've been talking to the current operators, and I've been talking to folks who want to be in this industry. But right now, everybody wants to make sure that we're doing this correctly, right? I mean, we don't want to do this wrong. And we have finally an administration who's like bending over backwards to make this work, right? So, but we have to be fundamentally, we have to fundamentally understand that all these things do take time. You can't change everything overnight. We had 8 years of Governor Christie squashing this program, and we've had less than 4 months with the Murphy administration. So I just stress that they're working as fast as they can. They want to make sure they're doing it right. They don't want to go in one direction accidentally because they rush to something. So while it's fantastic, we have all these patients signing up, and there's so many more doctors. I was with a couple doctors last night. We had a big, huge event up in Moorestown. Yep. And we do the social networking stuff, man, and everybody goes there. It's really cool because we have people who are looking to get a license. We have people who are patients. We have doctors. We have everybody in the community, everybody in the cannabis community at any level. They're going there to hang out, to network and meet new people. But one of the things, like I was saying, I met some new people, new medical professionals who are just excited to be part of this. And then there's a bill for the audience here. Senate Bill 10 is sponsored by Senator Vitale, Senator Scutari, and Senator O'Scanlan. That's a phenomenal bill. Look at that bill. I think it's posted. I mean, I've seen a copy of it, but I think it's available online now. Yeah. Is it online? Yeah, cool. Yeah. So Joanne did it. Of course, Joanne did it. She's doing.
She's good.
She's awesome. She's awesome. And you look at that bill, and it is awesome for the state of New Jersey. It's awesome for patients, and it's basically going to allow any medical professional that's currently allowed to prescribe to any patient for whatever the condition that the doctor believes true, which is already the case with every other medication. There's no condition for an opioid. There's no condition for a benzo. The doctor says you need it, and he gives you a piece of paper, and you go get it. That should be the same for cannabis.
That makes sense.
Up on the mic, Con. Up on the mic.
Yeah, the hospitals, and look, and that's the other thing.
We need to be able to get in the hospital because that's like a big deal. Like
that's huge.
Yeah, we were just talking about that in the write-up.
Awesome, but I mean, if we have to be in the hospital for any reason,
they take it away.
Or you're an opioid addict.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You're an opioid addict, and they're telling you, here, take an opioid.
Right.
Like, no, I'm a medical marijuana patient. They're saying, no, you can't do that. Here, take an opioid.
Yep, absolutely.
It's freaking, it's crazy.
Yeah, because
but that's part of the
problem. Like check my stuff in through the pharmacy. They'll confiscate it.
Gotta sneak it in.
No, we're taking it.
Yeah, that's all those elements are getting fixed. A lot of it's through that bill. A lot of it's going to be through regulations. But all that stuff is getting fixed. And like I said, the only thing I stress is patience. Keep the advocacy. Keep the push going. It is government after all, and it is slow. So you got to keep pushing. But I can tell you the heart's in the right place. They're really trying to make this right, and we're trying to set the standard for the rest of the country.
Some of these councils are either very dumb or very
ignorant
or anti-American. Something. I don't know.
What kind of traction do you think this bill number 10 is getting? What are you?
It's getting a lot of support. Again, medical marijuana is not the big debate in New Jersey, right? People get it. It's how to do it right. Correct.
Yeah, it's how to do it right. Yeah, that's what came down with the assembly. That's what I found out at the assembly hearings. It was at the end of the day when I was speaking to both Chairman Danielson and Assemblyman Dr. Hoetling. It really came down to not about whether or not they're going to do it. It's whether it's the best way for it to be done for us.
Again, remember this. So John Corzine signed the bill into law the day before he left.
That's
Governor
what a
Christie.
lot of people forget. They're like, no, Christie did it. No, he didn't. Christie said no way.
Yeah, that's right. And the last day of office.
The last thing Corzine did.
Governor Christie, who calls cannabis blood money.
Yep.
Meanwhile, he took $7 million worth of contributions from opioid manufacturers, but I guess that's not blood money.
No, that's not. That's okay.
I'm appalled and shocked by. No, I'm not.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, he also remember he didn't get any sun on the beach because he had a hat on.
Well, that's good.
So
that's good.
No sun on the beach.
Yeah, wow.
Because he was wearing a hat.
Thankfully, we don't have to worry.
Hat.
Yeah. We're not worrying about that anymore.
Yeah, he had a hat. Remember?
We have, like I said, we have a governor, we have an administration, we have a legislative leadership. All get it. They all get it. It's just about doing it right. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to make it right.
Which is awesome.
So
can we talk more about access and pricing and home grow?
Oh, yeah.
Access. What are we doing about increasing
So here's the process as I understand it. Right?
I know, broken record.
Yeah. But it's okay. The process as I understand it is they're going to allow the current operators to expand their grow area just to accommodate new patients, and they're going to allow the current operators to put satellite facilities up. That's the fastest way to do it.
Any idea where they're putting them up? It really is up to the dispensary where they want to locate. Talking to the municipalities. Again, that's the other thing that we don't think about, because I'll get a call from somebody like, "What the frick's going on, man?" You know, if you understand that any one of these operators who are looking to go into another town, they got to go through the same process of zoning and planning, and they got to make sure the setback is okay from a school or whatever, right? They got to go through all the stuff just like any other business would have to. All that stuff takes time.
So then why aren't we allowing other business to do it the right
way
as well?
So in this whole process, Governor Murphy committed to putting more licenses out on the street, right? So applications we should see sometime soon-ish.
Are they open for applications?
How much are application fees?
We're going to find out.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to find out. There's so many unknowns. And I've been talking to those folks. They're really, honest to goodness, they really try. But you have to understand, like, they are understaffed. They're trying to change 8 years of bad policy in a very short period of time.
Yeah. We just need to help the people as quickly as they can in the best way. You know, so would be more access, more.
Right. So.
Consistency.
Amy, I know, man. They're trying, and we're pushing. You guys are pushing, but we all just understand too, to do it right. It does take a little time. There's no one is benefiting from this delay. It's harming the process, but it has to be done correctly, right? So the patients we need more patients enrolled. We need a system to enroll them, and they need a product to purchase.
Right, so we have the first two.
So a question is, though, we're adding a lot of patients daily,
100 a day,
weekly.
100 a week.
And we have the same number of dispensaries with no satellite offices currently, but they have plans for them.
Correct.
Are they the current dispensaries upping their production? Are they allowed?
Yeah. So they have
this public. Can we?
No, it is. A lot of this stuff is already public.
But there's not transparency.
I don't know what you mean by transparency, but let me just say, like, they have talked to they have talked to the current operators. They said, we're adding these new conditions. Please prepare for it, and they all are preparing for it. But again, all that stuff takes time. Laws of physics. It's going to take 3 to 4 months. Like, even if you say, okay, go.
Right. They got to set up.
So the governor.
They got to grow the plants.
So I don't know what day it was. It's happened, but we'll call it February 15th. I have no idea what day they had the conversation. I really don't. But if they say on January or February 15th, go, they still got to expand their facility. They got to buy the new lights. Okay, they got to set all these things up. They got to get approval from the town. Say, for example, they're in a town where the setback of that facility is going to be abutting against something else. They have to figure out how to expand. They got to get engineers. They got to get architects. They got to building approval.
I thought they've been working on all that stuff.
They want us really bad there.
If they're starting that now, they're very late.
Fresh blood comes in here.
They're late.
Can I just say? Let me complete that, right? The whole thing, no matter what it is, you take cannabis out of it, call it a upholstery manufacturer, okay? All those things take time. I'm a former mayor. You got to go on the planning agenda, the zoning agenda, and you got to wait till the next month to even get on that agenda. And even then, you may not even be heard that night. It's a governmental process. It's the process, you know. And you can't just because it's cannabis doesn't make the process faster. So you have to keep pushing the way we've been pushing and reminding everybody of the importance of it. But we also have to understand a little patience to go from 8 years of nothing to within 3 months. We can't expect the whole world to change.
Right.
So it will take time. Okay. Stop hitting her. She's all excited.
Come a little closer,
She's beating me up today.
All this stuff takes time, and like I said,
got one for you.
I just got a quick question for you.
Sure, man.
When are we going to start worrying about letting the patients grow? When are we going to worry about grow rights? They were in the original bill.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious that it wasn't Chris Christie. It was someone on the Democrat side took the grow rights out.
Angelini. It was Angelini, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
I heard it was Angelini.
It was done too because Corzine, it was the last thing that he signed at, and he just wanted to make sure that it was done because Christie made it very clear that he would never, ever, ever allow it to happen. So Corzine did it the way that it was done. He didn't necessarily agree with everything in it. I know that he had some complications, some of the things in it, but he wanted to make sure that we at least had the opportunity to it. And then from there, even after he signed it was still 5 years before the first dispensary opened.
Yeah, people still died and suffered.
Definitely.
It's not medicinal.
That was
not
back
compassion.
then. Now we have a governor who's supposedly for cannabis, and one of the ways we could help with the demand for cannabis medicine is let the patients grow their own. That'd help big time.
Yeah, it would help.
How do we get groups like yours to help lobby for us? Because we need, if we had patients, if some patients were allowed to grow,
that would help so much. That would help our veterans,
or even like a co-op.
So as I've said a bunch of times,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
as I've said a bunch of times, there's definitely a place for home grow.
I mean, I even got information on solar energy powered and.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely space for it. There's, first of all, home grow is going to be allowed all across the United States at some point soon anyway, right? So that's like, once it gets descheduled, the whole thing changes. The whole universe changes. But right now, from an immediacy perspective, I think, we have been very agnostic on the home grow issue as my group. If it's in the bill, we're supporting the bill. If it's not in the bill, we're supporting the bill. Okay, so I've never, got off of that one. So we respect the patient's part of it for sure. Anybody that's a license holder that's growing in any other part of the country, they're all making money where there's home grow available. So it's not even an industry concern as much as what we're trying to get done here. And if we're only going to be satisfied with 100% of what we want, we may not get 85 or 95%.
We may not get anything at all.
So it's the balance, and that's why when I do have this conversation with a senator or assembly person about home grow, and they ask me my thoughts on it, I say there's absolutely a place for it in the medical for sure, because I think that's where we have to. It's a segueing in here. Like, again, I've talked to folks who are like absolutely opposed. And then I start talking about facts about teenage use going down and impaired driving is not a factor the way you think, and all these other opioid overdoses are going down. And then they start to get it and they're warming up to it.
Right
I'm getting from a no to a maybe. Now you're going to throw in something else. And they go from a maybe back to a no.
Now you just blew it up. Yeah, it's like the first one that speaks loses.
It's fine. It's a fine line to get people comfortable with something that their entire lives they were not comfortable with.
Yeah.
So it does take time, and that's like I said, this whole process, we're all eager. I'm so excited. I am so excited, man. I love this.
I'm
so proud to be part of this organization, so proud to be part of this movement. But I'm also, because I have been in elected office, I've had these positions, I know it takes a little longer.
It's tough, right?
It takes a little longer than some people want, and it is the process. But we have to continue to do what we're doing, which is advocate every day, reminding them every day what they need to be doing.
Just one more point about the home grow thing.
Sure.
Big cannabis is already here in New Jersey. It's been here for a really long time, and it's called the black market. And I think it's something that we're not, all of us, the government, you guys, the industry, is just not looking at. And just as I'm trying to dovetail off of the home grow thing. You want to get rid of the black market.
Right.
You want to get rid of that kind of criminal element. Allow a home grow. That will cripple those guys. People will be able to grow their own medicine.
Yeah. Those guys,
and it'll offset the obscene prices we pay in New Jersey as patients for cannabis. $485 an ounce. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's expensive.
Plus tax.
I know it doesn't cost that much to make it.
Yeah,
I know for a
tax.
fact it doesn't cost that much to make it.
It's more than that.
They're also a business, right? I mean, they got to keep their lights on and pay employees,
I'm looking at it from a
right?
consumer point.
But we also recognize too, like
they want profits.
It's a business, man. It's a business.
$485 worth.
When we're comparing a medical marijuana with another medicine, the prices aren't the same just because we're not paying wholesale prices for our opioids. We're paying a $15, $25 copay. We don't have copay. So that's one of the things, as this whole thing matures, we're going to have copays for our medicine in the future. You know what I mean? Like, that's where, when medical marijuana is mainstream, we're going to have copays. There's going to be insurance companies. You can get freaking medical insurance for your dog.
Right.
Now, so there's processes and products that are out there. Yeah, no, wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there are insurance companies who want to make a profit by creating medical marijuana insurance so people can join that so that you can get it reduced. But right now, it's just not permissible. So, but you have those products, and you can get those things to happen. Again, it's like I'm a broken record now, right? Like it takes time. No, we can't change things overnight. So, but we want this to happen. We want it, and the desire is so strong that we're like getting impatient. But I'm stressing patience. Don't put your foot off the gas. We all got to do what we're doing, but we have to also recognize the process does necessarily take time.
One last question.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to go get a barbecue sandwich.
Yeah, go get your barbecue. But cannabis for cops, by the doctor's recommendation. What's step one for that?
I don't know. That's if you're how I generally talk, whether it's a police officer or any profession, what is that profession's policy as it affects an opioid or alcohol or cigarettes, right? So, whether if you are a officer and you have an injury, which a lot of these guys get on the line, the line of duty, and you're prescribed opioids, right?
That's what's happening.
So they have to make the determination: are you, based on the opioid? And I think the same would apply on medical marijuana as well. Again, I talk to employers all the time. They're concerned. They don't know that you can get a very, very low THC, high CBD. They just assume when you smoke that joint or you take that edible that you're just going to be whacked out high and on the couch. They don't recognize that actually some of this stuff is so low THC, you could drive your car, take your kids to school, you could be a soccer mom, soccer dad. You can do all these things in life and do it regularly. You are not impaired whatsoever, but, man, your condition is better. Your migraines are gone. All those elements that come with medical marijuana is there. So that's also part of the education, is making employers. And that's, look, I talk to my colleagues in different associations who are, represent management. They represent restaurants. They represent the banks. They represent, whatever. So they represent all these different industries. Their concern is like, so are they allowed to smoke a joint at their workstation? Like, are they allowed to smoke a cigarette at the workstation? Okay, then they can't smoke a joint at the workstation, but they can go outside where it's permissible, or they can take the oil, or they can take the edible, or they can put on the lotion, or whatever it is. I got to remind people, it's like 1,000 different ways to take your cannabis, and and again, it's just they don't understand it. It's all education. We're helping them understand it, and I'm telling you, the movement is strong. We had an event last night. Our very first event, we had like 40 or some people at the social networking things that we're doing. Last night was 100. It's just growing every time we do it. More people want to come out, and it's again not just people who want to get a license, but people want to talk to people who don't have a license. I'm a website designer. I'm a security professional. I do paychecks or something.
Last night was the young professionals, right?
That was up in Morristown. It was for New Jersey Cannabis Business Association. So
okay.
We have jobs and weed.
Yeah, with jobs and weed.
Jobs and weed.
Welcome to the industry.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Scott Rutter,
appreciate
thank you, sir.
for being on.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
New Jersey Cannabis
Have me
Business
some fries
Association.
on your way back.
Thank you, man.
That's
Awesome.
another
Thanks,
thing.
Scott. Everyone
Another
loves
thing we gotta
Scott.
look up.
Some
Raise your
fries and
hands.
some
Thank you,
barbecue
Scott.
sauce.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you,
Peace.
Scott.
Peace. Go get some
Enjoy
barbecue.
your barbecue.
Enjoy that.
All right, so
You.
hold
So-
on.
Ten's another thing.
The
I
question.
keep making sure I'm
The
making
jury
sure
came back
everybody
in.
knows.
Hold on. The jury came back in, and they want to know about the newspaper article if they can read it, the one that was redacted in evidence.
They want to read the
So
whole
are they
thing
gonna
now.
let them?
And they want to know who was considered the witness. Is it Zev or the entire family was the witness? That's what they want to know. That's their question. It wasn't really clear during the trial,
But
so
what's the difference? I mean, will it make
Well,
that
the
big
answer-
of a difference?
Of course.
Free the weed man.
Yeah, it will make a
Free
difference.
him.
yeah. Hold on.
Free-
Give
free
Jason the
at
microphone.
last.
I can't. Jason.
Free
grab
at
that mic.
last.
What's up, Jason? Jason Arnold?
Did Zev ever end up coming to court?
No.
No.
Nah. So the jury, the jury asked, who was the witness, Zev or the family?
Right.
Zev and the whole family.
The big difference in that situation would be, they had both Zev's mother and father, just them, right?
It was Zev's father, Zev's wife, and Zev's sister-in-law, sister-in-law.
They all came to court?
Yes. Testified.
Oh, wow.
No, only two of them came.
I think 3 of them.
It was just two. Oh,
was
you're
two?
right. It was the mom, the dad. This time, the mom, the dad, and
the woman from South Carolina came up to testify.
Yeah.
Oh, how did her testimony go? I didn't hear that one.
They all said they were afraid because
They were scared.
They were scared
because they were served legal paperwork.
They never saw legal papers,
My God.
and the legal paperwork scared them because it said, "Come to court, come to
It
court."
scares me that it scared them.
Plus, there was a piece of paper that said, "Oh, and your son's a scumbag heroin head," pretty much. And they got all scared. They probably got scared that Zev was gonna try to steal from him.
Yeah,
to get his hair on.
Jeez.
But that's and you got to remember now, Zev, the big Marine, he was afraid to come to court. He was afraid. His mommy and daddy came, but he was afraid.
Did y'all notice the father though? With this testimony, he didn't mention anything about his military background.
Because they
last trial, I mean, he built on it and said now I've been in combat, I've been in the military, this, that, and the third. Like I never got shook up like this, that, and the third. This trial, he didn't even mention it.
They left it alone.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That just caught me.
Yeah, they didn't question the witnesses at all on Ed's side. They didn't question anybody.
There was no one to question on Ed's side. He didn't bring no witnesses.
Well, no,
besides himself.
Ed didn't cross-examine the witnesses. Sorry. Give that microphone back over there, please.
You give it back. So you think this is howdy doody time?
What does that even mean?
You give that microphone back. Punk ass boot. Wow. That's racist.
He's being hurtful again.
That's racist.
All right.
Told the black man to give the white woman.
I was telling you, actually. I was telling you.
I'm black. From the waist down.
As my husband would say, it's all pink on the inside.
Oh, wow.
We're talking about two different things on. You're talking about tacos. I'm talking about hot dogs.
Here comes the turn.
Just like you were talking
hot
about
dogs,
hoagies.
Here's where the show goes.
I'm not saying kielbasa.
Left turn.
Oh, no, we can't talk about kielbasa again.
Hoagies and subs and pork
Grinders.
roll and Taylor ham.
No, grinders.
Grinders.
No.
No,
Hoagies.
It's hoagies
They're
and
subs.
pork roll.
Kielbasa.
It's pork roll.
Yeah, baby.
It's pork roll.
No, it's Taylor.
It's kabasi.
It's
Pork roll.
with sauerkraut.
Yo,
Can't
so
miss the sauerkraut.
upside down.
Kvasse.
I can't read like that.
really, man.
See, it's
the
pork roll
pork roll
fest.
fest.
It's not Taylor Ham Fest. It's
pork roll.
Johnny
Fest.
Pork
It
Roll's
is.
gonna
Thank
be
you.
there. He's my
Pork
boy.
roll.
Shout out to
It's
Johnny Pork Roll.
It's pork roll.
It's totally pork roll.
No such thing as a Taylor Ham Fest.
Thank you very much.
Never even heard of that.
Exactly,
Pork roll.
right? No.
No.
Pork roll a la
I'm
mode.
sorry. I'm sorry. If that shows my Philly, then whatever. Go Phils.
Oh, that's it. They have a beer garden too. Fucking hey, we're down.
Who's got a beer garden? Although I found out the other day, I ended up getting stupid drunk. I'm
they have a
finding
weed
out
garden?
that if the change from going off of opioids makes my alcohol tolerance go down, then I'm quitting drinking too. Because I fucked myself up bad Saturday night. I took a chunk out of my finger.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, no,
What?
normally, when I was on all the pills, I never, I
Drinking
never
and
had a
taking drugs are
hangover
bad
in my
for you.
life. I don't ever mix them. I don't take pills.
Yeah, you ready,
and
little
drink
guy?
ever, and I never
Hit
have.
that, hit that.
But
Which one?
now I'm on a lower dose of the opioids, and it just seemed to hit me.
There we go.
What'd you do?
I don't know what I did.
What are you doing?
What did I do?
What are you
well,
doing?
at my Legion thing, I
You
got,
know what I
like,
did.
now I'm on a lower dose of the opioids, and the alcohol seemed to affect me differently. Like I used to be able to drink like most men under a table, and
You got that, huh?
I had 4 drinks and 2 shots, and I was
Everybody must get
I'm all
drunk.
bruised up, and I couldn't even drive up here today. I
Wait,
had to bum a ride.
Tell me about your surgery. You got a surgery coming up. Tell me
Yeah.
about this.
I am having
gotta
Botox
get my
injections into the base of my kidneys. So they go in with these big ass huge needles, and they shoot all this Botox into these areas of weaknesses, or hopefully areas of weaknesses at the base of my kidneys where it connects to my bladder, and we will hope that will stop. I have reflux into my kidneys. So basically my bladder backwashes into my kidneys, and it's killing them, and I don't qualify for a transplant because they don't like to give good kidneys to people who are already sick. So even though I'm on the list, I'm at the very, very, very bottom. So unless somebody personally says, oh, here, we want to donate a kidney, then I'm pretty much screwed. So that'll never happen. So we're trying to do everything possible to avoid that. So we're doing the injections again, and we talked about doing a sling, but if he has to do a sling, because my anatomy is totally different, being as unique as I am, he would have to build the sling out of my abdomen.
What's a sling?
It's they usually do like mesh bladder slings and stuff like that that they tie around the bladder. But for me, they can't. My body rejects anything that's an outside source. They found that out in a surgery when I was a kid. So they would have to create it out of my own intestine. So he would have to build it from my abdomen. So he says he can't do that at this point. So we're going to go with the injections again and cross our fingers that we're a couple of years off from the sling.
Are they going to close the stoma?
No.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
What?
Well, I asked about the stoma.
It's a yes and no type of thing. It's because I have a neurogenic bladder, so it's not that it doesn't. It's not that it doesn't work. It just doesn't, like, I can tell when I have to go to the bathroom. Like, I know when I have to go, but I mean, like, I'm still on a self-catheterization program, have been my whole life, because my bladder just doesn't tighten up enough to be able to empty completely, and that's what's created the reflux. I've had it my whole life. When I was a kid, they decided to, rather than take the barely functioning kidney out, they left it in because it's functioning enough that it takes enough pressure off of the good kidney that they figured it would last longer. Yeah. So now I'm kind of at that point where the good kidney's saying, you know what, I'm 40 years old and I'm kind of like, yeah, I need a break. I need a vacay. So it's starting to go downhill. And they're like, but if we take the left one out, it's not like most people where if you're like, you can live on one kidney, but they're afraid that if they take my one kidney out, my other kidney won't be able to handle the full shock of everything right away. So we're not going to go that route, and we really are in a position of as somebody donates to me privately, then I'm okay. Otherwise, I don't, I'm just too far down on the list. So we're going to go with the injections. They've worked before. I'm kind of lucky, as painful as they are. They've only lasted, they normally last about 3 to 6 months for normal people. For me, the last time I had them done was a little over a year and a half ago, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, granted, I needed them done probably about 3-4 months ago, but I stalled, and because it was holidays, and holidays, my kid's birthday, I didn't want to have them done right then and be miserable through that. So, I put it off, and now I gotta get it done. So you know what? It is what it is. It'll get done. It's time to get done, and we'll get it done and over with. It's lucky same day. He does it everything same day, but he does have to do it at the hospital because I'm too high risk of a patient for him to be able to do it in the office. So he's got to do it at the hospital, and then it's about 3 weeks of pain. I don't understand why people pay to get Botox, because that shit hurts. So I'm sorry I'm not that vain, but I mean, then we'll see. I'll be down for about a week, and then I'll be back up and moving. Oh, I've heard about that. I've heard about having
for
Botox.
Her too.
Yeah, it did? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like I said, this has worked for me so far. Like, I mean, it was funny. We were kind of talking about it on the drive up. Like, a lot of women who have had children and whatnot, they deal with incontinence on a regular basis. I don't have to deal with any of that because I get the injections done, so I don't have to deal with that. I mean,
no panty shields for you.
No, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about it.
I really hope
I just
this
have to
works
worry
out
about the
for
camel toe.
We kind of covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Wait.
No, well, when you don't have a panty shield, then you don't have to worry about wearing panties. So then you just have to worry about getting a camel toe, depending on what kind of pants you're wearing.
Now
what's a camel toe? I'm ignorant.
It's
kind of like a buffalo
toe.
toe.
Pulled up too far into the
crotchal area.
Yes, and it looks like
a camel
toe.
It looks like two toes.
Toe lag.
Oh, that thing that I really like a lot. Oh, that. The thing that guys go crazy for.
Right. Well, I mean,
the triangle of your obsession.
But it's one thing when you're like trying to be sexy about it. And it's another thing when it's like being shown off because the pants you're wearing are just too damn tight. Like that's a problem.
Wow.
Like,
Is there such a thing as camel toe envy? Or not?
No,
I've got camel toe envy.
No, because camel toe is just nasty. Like,
Yeah.
No.
Lefty is an expert
in-
lip reader.
I'm sorry. in this situation, camel toe is nasty. Like,
No,
it's
don't
not
say that. I'm
something-
shutting off your mic. That's fake news. That's fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
It's
Hey.
sexy in the right circumstances.
It's always sexy.
It's sexy in the right circumstances.
always
but
My sexy
I'm
baby.
sorry. If the person's just too big wearing pants that are just too tight, it's kind of like, a Dunlap. Like, it's just, there's nothing sexy
Not
about
doing
that. So, I mean, it kind of runs the same lines as the Dunlap. It just doesn't.
The Dunlap?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, what's
What's a
that?
Dunlap?
When a man wears pants that are too tight and your stomach Dunlap over your belt.
Oh,
you mean like?
Yeah.
That's not hot.
Yeah,
No,
no.
it's
See,
not.
it's kind of the same. You know how
No.
that's not hot? That's kind of how the camel toe is for women. Like, it's sexy in the right circumstances, but not, You don't walk around. You don't wear a suit with camel toe. Like,
Don't
I
shoot. I
mean-
have a camel toe.
Right? Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, maybe if you're in a bathing suit or something like that, like if you're in a bathing suit or lingerie, or like you're in the right circumstance, then okay. If you do it if you do it the right way, it's acceptable. Otherwise,
Well,
like,
what is
you
the right way?
Yeah, is there levels of camel toe then? There must be levels.
Camel toe, like,
I
is there
guess
like
there is because
the
I
toe
mean,
of poo,
it's
the
kind
toe
of
of poo?
camel
it
toe
comes
rating scale.
down-
Toe of poo.
It comes down to like the I guess and my mom's gonna shoot me for saying this.
There's charts. There's
Mom,
charts
stop
on
listening.
things.
It
Turn down the
comes down
volume.
to the clit size.
Oh.
So that really makes the size of the camel toe.
I don't know how we got on
So,
this subject.
Hey,
My wife's got a nickname
I
for
mean,
that.
depending on how large it is depending on how big the camel toe is.
Oh
So,
man. Okay.
and there's a
and
there's
how
a rating
tight
scale
the
for
pants
that.
are.
Wow, it's like the
There-
guilty
there
chart. Like
is.
Ed Fortune tried to get
There
this thing
is.
past.
We got a level 4 camel toe in aisle 2.
There is.
Everybody go look.
This is like the guilty
There's
chart.
definitely like a loose to tight because the bigger the camel toe, the looser the girl. So like most men want tight girls.
Oh God! Whoa!
They don't want
Wait,
they don't
wait,
want
whoa.
they don't want a girl that they're like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. They want somebody that's nice and grips that shit, right?
I told you we took a turn.
Right? You don't want to be
I feel
throwing
better now.
a hot dog down a hallway, right? You want to have something nice and tight, right?
Hello,
So,
hello,
if it's
hello,
a big
hello.
camel toe, then it's nice and loose, and that's not what you want.
Hello.
Who are you?
You guys know you love me because I can hang with you. That's why.
Well,
No.
I am being healed by cannabis. I have
Bless you.
pulmonary fibrosis, and for the past year,
Oh, I'm
I've been
sorry.
aggressively using cannabis oil.
Fico?
Fico and my own coconut oil. I've been making edibles more and vaping
Nice.
more instead of smoking, and I haven't progressed at all in the last year and a half.
Right.
Congratulations,
That's awesome.
girlfriend.
Way to go. So
Yeah.
glad to hear it.
That's awesome.
We need to hear more of those stories.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk my mom into coming up here because I want her to tell her story because she's falling apart, and then she was spending a lot of time around me after I was paralyzed, and so she was around the cannabis, and she was starting to do so much better, and then
Right.
she wasn't around me as much because during tax season she does taxes, so I don't barely see her, and she was doing miserable. And then she started being around me again, and she was doing great. And now, she's a patient because she
Right.
found out that it really was the best thing for her. She's gotten down on her diabetes medication. She's, done so much better. Like
I got off
mean,
a lot of opiates with
She got
cannabis.
off of everything.
A lot.
She's not on anything at all now.
That's great.
Except for I think she's on insulin like once a day. But that's it. But
Right.
for diabetic, like an insulin-dependent diabetic, that's really good.
Yeah.
So, and then she's down to hopefully going down to less because her counts keep going higher and higher and higher every single time she goes to the doctor. So,
Good.
I mean, and it's just because She made the transition. She can't smoke because she's severely asthmatic. So we do the edibles and vaping. She's good with vaping. Yeah, I gotta talk to you about it. About her vape pen because the thing she has is shit. Like she has the crap that you get from CSTC.
You're welcome in the shop anytime you want.
Yeah, I gotta bring her for a trip. But I mean, it's really saved her life. Dude, woo!
Oh shit!
Saved the bong. I'm not as worried about this as I am about the bong. Oh, and it was packed too. All right, we caught it.
State House.
I need a towel.
Cannabis foul.
We're blowing away.
Cannabis foul. Cannabis foul.
You know what? I do.
I'm sorry, Richie. I cut you off.
You cut me off. You have to throw up the foul flag like they do in football.
Flag.
Stoner flag.
Yeah, there is. There's bong water all over the wires.
Well, there's bong water all over the water. Watch
All
out.
over the
Bong water
wires.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But not a drop to smoke. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry.
That's all right. We got it. We're taking care of it. There's still some in the bongs.
No liquid. No liquid on the table unless it has a cap.
But
No bongs either.
Or it's infused.
That includes
Lefty
bongs.
yells at people.
Yeah, we shouldn't have bongs on the table.
Yeah.
Not like that.
I know it's crazy.
It's
a stoner show that doesn't like bongs only at the table.
This is why, unless you're using
you
it.
gotta put it down.
Maybe we need to bring a bong table that would be separate from the
A
electronic
bong table. I have
That's
one.
a good
bong
idea.
table.
A little
Here.
a small bong
There
table.
it
A
is.
bong table.
There it is.
A bong table.
Let me unfold the bong table.
We have a bong table.
Shit.
Yeah, it's definitely like,
Goddamn
and we were
son of a-
talking about how I chose to make the change down from the opioid right now before the surgery, knowing that I was going to have the surgery coming. Like I knew it was coming when I talked.
Get up on that.
When I talked to my surgeon that day, when I talked to actually my pain management doctor, like I knew then. I said I'm going to see my urologist, and I know he's going to have to do the injections again. And he was like, all right. And he's like, are you sure you want to do this now? I said, yeah. Now's the time. I said, because you know what? I got to do it. And if I don't do it today, then when am I going to do it? Like, I'm going to keep finding excuses and keep finding ways to put it off. At the end of the day, I got to do it, and I got to deal with it. And there's never going to be the perfect time to downgrade off of, like, a major opioid. So it's like, and he says to me, do you think you can do it? And it's not about I think I can do it. It's I gotta do it. Like it's a, this is what's right for my life, for my son, for my husband, for everybody in my world. This is what's right. So this is what's got to be done now. So what? I'm having surgery done, and it's gonna hurt like a bitch. So I'll smoke more weed. That's all.
That's exactly right.
That's how I
Be a
got off of the
big
opioid.
girl.
That's how I went down on the opioid. I smoked more weed, and I cut that morphine
Smoke more weed.
I cut that morphine,
Yeah,
that
can we give
that
this to
middle
Tracy?
morphine out. So since I cut that shit out, there you go. Yeah, I mean.
Tracy, here comes your bong table.
that's-
Here you go.
Nice.
You got a bong table
I
now.
got a cup of coffee, and like we can put the.
Yeah.
Oh, and look,
there
we
it is.
can
Oh, the
just-
sandwiches can go on there, and the
that can
bongs.
go- And there we go. Cool,
Sandwich
cool,
and
cool.
multi-purpose.
Sandwiches, bongs.
Coffee,
Awesome.
bongs.
Yo, can we get back
My
to that article?
CBD coffee.
All right, we have an
Oh,
article
yeah,
to read.
yes,
Hold
yes,
on.
yes,
All right,
the
Tracy, hold on.
article. Thank you.
Talk
Sorry.
about this.
I heard a little bit about this, but I didn't read the whole thing.
It's the medical marijuana shortages
she
and
has.
longer lines await new patients. On a recent trip to pick up some medical marijuana in Cranberry, Edward Grimes, also known as Leftina.
And it doesn't say that.
Lieutenant.
Stop it. No, doesn't say that.
Well, close. Anyway.
There was a typo.
Leftina got in the back of a line.
It's hurtful.
He said it was the longest he's ever waited.
I don't sound like that.
He's got the longest he ever waited.
I don't sound like that.
No.
I'm like, it's the longest I've ever waited. That's
Okay,
how I
hold
talk.
on. I gotta sound like this Edward Grimes dude.
That's how you read the news, right?
Lulu,
I mean,
baby.
quotes there, right? Got to read
That was quotes?
Right, it's quotes. He said, right?
No, not really.
No?
It just said Edward Grimes, a.k.a. Leftina, got in the back of a line that he said was
He
the
got it
longest.
where?
He said.
But there's no quotation.
He said what?
That he said. That he said.
Okay.
So it's not like quotes.
And then you say, God, read it. Read the news.
Okay.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah, read the news.
That Leftina said.
It's not. That's fake news.
This is the longest line I've ever waited in. Even.
That's not funny.
Even longer than that time I was getting poison tickets where I waited overnight. Yeah,
Emergency.
It doesn't say that. That's fake news.
When he got to the front, Grimes discovered that he had no peanut.
Oh.
I'm shutting off your mic. This is not even funny. Did you work on this all night?
Did you work on this with Trump?
I did.
By some.
Hey, Trump and I go back, okay?
Right on, man.
You sound like a Trumper right now.
Uh-oh.
He's being Trumpedelic.
Yeah, you're being very offensive and hurtful to me.
When he got to the front, Grimes discovered.
Grimes?
Grimes with a G, damn it. He discovered that the I can't even fucking talk now.
No, you couldn't.
Shut the fuck up.
Never could.
Gosh, it's terrible, man.
Right? This is fake
Grimes
news.
discovered the dispensary had run out of a lemon G.
That's true.
A strain of marijuana he uses to treat back pain and spasms. They're really out of lemon G?
Yeah.
Really? What's that, Blackwater? Breakwater. Breakwater. So yes.
Tell us about the attributes of lemon G for your malady. How does lemon G help you specifically with the strain?
It's a daytime cannabis for me because it's a sativa and it helps with my back pain. It really does.
It makes the spasms.
I have
subside.
spasms. I have stenosis. I'm a mess. My back's a mess.
So, because you weren't able to get the strain-specific medicine that works, what did you have to settle for? We should never have to settle. Patients should never have to settle.
This is New Jersey. Get used to it, okay?
I'm not. We're here to change that.
How long did it take you to get there?
I blacked out at that point. I got a temporary case of PTSD, and I blacked out, and I left.
Are you serious?
The horror.
How long did it take you to get there?
No, I'm kidding. It's not funny.
How long did it take you to get there?
It takes me an hour to get there. And the last 3 times I went there, my prescription was not filled by my doctor. So I had to sit there and wait, call my doctor, or leave. Twice I left. Once I waited with Michelle, because Michelle needed her medicine for multiple sclerosis, and her doctor was my doctor. They didn't call in either of our prescriptions. So we sat there like idiots waiting for our prescriptions in the friggin' lobby.
That's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
You need a new
That is
doctor.
unfair.
No, it's not the doctor. It's his person that does it. Just doesn't really have
Yeah,
compassion.
see, I never had a problem with
are you
that.
done
Like,
interrupting me?
mine's
Third
done
time.
before I
Are
even
you
go
done
in.
interrupting me? That's the third time you've
Senator Rice.
interrupted me.
All right.
See Senator Rice?
Senator Rice,
How are you, Senator? We're doing great. Good to see you, sir.
You want to sit down for a second?
Well, yes, for cannabis.
This is the podcast you spoke to. You can talk to us for a second. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Got to run and vote
Thank you.
for
Everyone who
cannabis.
loves Senator Rice, raise your hands.
Senator Rice.
Senator
I like
Rice.
Senator Rice.
Bye,
I'm
Senator
not
Rice.
raising my hand. Sorry. He's one of those ex-law officers.
You know what? He's coming around on medical.
he's not.
He's going to help us with
He's
medical.
gonna help us.
I
On
think so.
medical.
I
No,
think
he's
so.
going to help us.
On medical, Wayne.
No, he's
He
not.
said he would help
He's
us.
a fraud. He's a fraud.
Nah.
He's ignorant like many people are.
He's a fraud.
ignorant.
He's learning.
A bum.
He's learning. He's evolving.
He's a
I
bum.
think-
No, he's not.
I think he is.
He hasn't
evolving.
learned nothing.
I
No,
think
he
is
hasn't.
Oh,
evolving.
stop it,
Then
Wayne.
he's devolving.
Oh, I'm
No.
hoping that we can
No,
get this.
The
sit
show is
down.
devolving.
He's a police
I'm hoping
officer.
that Leo can get
Undeveloped
the
police
sit down.
officer. He ain't going nowhere, okay? He's such a little buta,
Oh,
okay?
jeez, come on.
We
That he
need to
has
turn
a
him on to
bill
our
out.
friends and leave.
He's got a bill out for decriminalization, and the day Governor Murphy said, nah, I'm not for that bill. I'm for all-out legalization. Okay, he jumped up and down like a little girl and said, no, I don't want legalization. That's bad. And like a little girl because he didn't want his bill. That's what it was all about.
Well, the
All right, so-
decrim bill, all it does really, in other states that they've done it,
Doesn't
at
matter,
this
it ain't
juncture,
happening.
It just paints another target on your
It
back.
ain't
You become
happening.
more of a target.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
That's true. You do.
Absolutely.
I think you do. I think
Governor
you do
ain't,
become more
doesn't
of a
want it.
target.
It ain't happening. New Jersey, the Democrats don't even want decriminalization.
No way. We want full legalization. We want
Yeah.
We want full patient rights. We want our medicine to be
Yep.
treated like a real medicine,
Absolutely.
not like it's being treated now.
We want to be able to get
We
work.
want more HIPAA protection.
We want to be able
We
to
don't
go
want to have to
work.
pay every 90 days for multiple sclerosis.
We're going to
It's
talk
not
about
like
that.
it ever
See, we're
goes
gonna
away.
Talk about
See,
that.
you triggered it. You
We're going to
triggered
talk about. We're going to talk about.
I'm
S10.
so triggered.
We're
We're
going
all
to talk about
triggered
what's
now.
in there.
Just call me Trigger.
It's crazy though.
But for now, we're
It's
talking about-
true.
All right, back to the news. The
Oh,
fake
back to
news.
the news.
Wayne,
Fake,
go.
fake news with Wayne.
Grimes is among New Jersey's registered medical marijuana patients.
That's true.
Who say that in the past month, they've seen increased wait times at dispensaries, as well
big
as
time.
shortage of certain strains of cannabis. Is that anybody? Is that anybody important?
No, it's not me.
Oh, okay.
Or we're still waiting for
The
them to come back
problems
in.
are at least in part because of an influx of new patients to the state's program after Governor Phil Murphy launched an expansion in March that allowed people with common conditions such as anxiety and chronic pain to register. They can't handle the demand, Grimes said of the dispensaries. It's going to get worse. Worse.
That's not even funny. I don't sound like that at all.
You like that, huh? Okay, anyway.
Back
The
to the
Department of
camel
Health reports that more than 5,000 patients, that's 5,000 patients,
5,000.
have been
Look
added
at
to the
that
state's
spliff.
medical marijuana program since the beginning of the year. That's January.
Look at her split.
5,000 more with 100 every week. Do the math.
I'm sorry.
Big split.
I'm in love.
That's a nice
I
split.
think
No.
I'm in love.
Now that's a spleef.
Now that is
Holy
it.
shit.
Look at that camel toe.
That's a fucking joint.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
a joint.
Stop the show.
Hey, man, I
Stop
think
the
we're
show.
parked.
Hold on. Shut it down. Shut it down. That's the biggest one of the day right there.
It's
Shut it down.
mostly Labrador,
I
man.
like that, man. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Where the hell was I?
Where was I?
I don't even know
You
where
were
the
making
hell
fun
I-
of me.
Oh,
You were
yeah.
picking on me again.
He was reading the
You're
fake
hurtful.
news again.
You're so hurtful.
They can't handle
all
the
about the fake
demand.
news.
Can't handle the demand.
You can't handle the demand.
It's going to get worse.
That's how I said it.
So anyway, health
got worse.
commissioner. Oh, all right. So before Murphy took
Health Commissioner
office,
Ho.
actually it's Commissioner. I can't even read it. I'll get there. Don't
Who's
worry.
the what's it?
Before Murphy took office, the program had about 16,000 registered patients.
Suffering patients.
Health Commissioner Sharif El-Inhal has said that since the expansion, about 100 new patients register for medical marijuana every day.
Every day.
Every
100.
day. Think about that. So now David Knowlton, founder and president of Compassionate Care Foundation, said that dispensaries in the state have all been experiencing the impact of the growing number of patients. Certainly we're feeling it, Knowlton said. The changes with Governor Murphy were wonderful, but they happened suddenly. You end up having an influx of patients, and it takes a while for supply to catch up with the demand. Compassionate Care recently partnered with Acreage Holdings. What's that? Is that Curaleaf? Is that who Compassionate Care is?
No. Compassionate care. Well, Compassionate Science is Curaleaf. Compassionate Care is down in Egg Harbor Township.
Egg Harbor, okay.
Yeah, I think they were first or the second to open.
Ooh, they recently
They've been
partnered
around
with
for a long time.
Acreage Holdings. That's one of the nation's largest cannabis companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is big
Yeah,
cannabis
I heard about
right
that.
there, baby.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
that that's going to be good because
I don't know how comfortable I am
their
with that.
stuff is really expensive.
Is that
but-
John Boehner?
No,
No, that's not the other. That's the other one.
No, yeah, that's the other one.
Okay.
So
Wow, they
this
want
is
to have
this
a
is the
100,000
Norcross
square
Foundation, I
foot
believe.
growing
I
site.
believe.
Hold on,
I'm
what-
not
what,
sure.
Wayne?
Yeah.
What, Wayne?
Repeat that.
100,000 square
Yeah.
foot growing site.
They have the land down
That's a
there.
lot of weed.
Did you see the land down there?
That's a lot of weed.
thing.
Have you been down to Egg Harbor? Like
No.
they
What
have,
else is
they,
We're
there?
northern boys.
They
We don't go
own-
down to-
man,
to-
no,
They don't have
Pork
wheelchair
roll,
access.
Kentucky.
Wait, they don't have wheelchair access though, right?
Yes,
That's
they do.
They do.
Yes, they
Which place doesn't have
absolutely
wheelchair
do.
access?
Hokeyville.
Which one? Somebody told me that one of them has no wheelchair
Okay,
access.
Belmar
one?
does.
The new one they just put in.
Curaleaf?
Are you serious?
No, Curaleaf does. They have ramps going down. Like I know Curaleaf does. Like I've
Yeah,
been.
Yo,
you
what
know
happened?
what?
Somebody told me they couldn't get in if there was they're in
Somebody
a wheelchair.
lied to you.
Yeah, somebody lied to you because they have it.
Okay.
She's saying at the old building.
Yeah. Yeah, power chair can't get in, right?
In the new building?
There's a new building that they put.
It's crazy.
This is
Really?
We should do a podcast.
I'm gonna have to go over.
right from there.
I want to do a tour there.
I'd love to.
I'll go over. It's right by my house. I'll run over. And you know what? You don't have to
Crawl
call
all
ahead
day.
to be a patient down there. You
Right.
can just walk right in.
Well, I do. I'm a new patient.
So no, you know,
Wow,
you
this-
can just
this
walk
company
right.
got
They
some
take
money.
walk-in new patients.
Someone got
as
some real
they open
got
at
some
10
money
as of
because
11 a.m. They
Not
take
only
and
do they
walk-in
want
new
to put in that
patients.
100,000 square foot, they're also seeking permission from the health department to open dispensaries
and
in Atlantic City,
AC,
Cherry Hill,
so much land.
Cherry Hill?
yeah, and Moorestown.
Morristown.
No.
No. The
Not
one
Morristown.
down.
Can you get through this
More.
damn
More.
article? Can
The
we,
one down
can
by
we
me in
proceed
Cherry
and
Hill.
finish through this goddamn article that's taking 45
Yeah,
fucking minutes to
please.
fucking
God.
read?
Are we
Jesus.
done?
What
Are we
is-
done?
what is this,
Can
a
we get
second
some
grade
order?
reader?
What's the point of the article?
I'm trying to read, but everyone's fucking talking.
Thank you. Proceed.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Well, anyway, Wayne.
The expansion of the state's current medical marijuana facilities is expected to be complemented. It says complemented by new businesses coming into the market. Jeff Brown, Assistant Commissioner of the Medical Marijuana Program, told New Jersey Advanced Media that the health department is studying demand with eyes on issuing licenses to new businesses to grow and sell medical marijuana. Are you listening to that? That means you guys got to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to get into this damn New Jersey medical marijuana program.
And you can get
Overrun
into
this
cheap
shit.
Man, you can get into cheap. You can
Okay?
get in cheap. There's like shit
Overrun
emails
it.
going around saying
This
like,
way,
no.
they're going to have to force patients to be able to grow. But anyway, as I continue, the department has fielded some calls from patients about longer wait times and dispensaries about running out of certain strains. Brown said, holy shit, what the fuck is this? How am I supposed to read the news like this?
It's just treat it like a camel toe.
I'm not supposed to lick this or suck it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Exactly.
I am sucking it.
Well,
It's a
there is a technicality involved.
Oh, wow.
Yo, little guy.
I'm good right now.
I'll give you a little
man.
joint.
Try that. That thing's rad.
Really?
Oh, my God.
It's
All
rad.
right. Well, I want to have a sit down with this. I just don't want to do it. I want to know more about it and do an interview.
Oh, right
What the heck is that?
All right,
All
here.
right, we're gonna stop the show. Stop the show. Stop the show. Shut it down.
It
we
changed
we
my life.
What the heck is that thing?
changed
Stop the
me.
show. What the heck?
It made me feel differently when I held it to my mouth repeatedly.
I thought I was a stoner.
Have a
Holy
seat over here.
shit.
And what the? Oh my God. That is
Okay. Everyone who likes this vape exhale thing, raise your fucking hands.
Vape
Holy shit,
exhale.
that thing's cool.
a vape exhale.
I've never done this before. The vape.
Wow. All right. Who are you and what is that?
Yeah. Put those headphones on and.
The device.
Wow.
Kind of looks like a vibrator, right? No? Hey.
It looks like one. It looks like you could have
That'd
some
be a
fun with
weird
that.
vibrator, man.
It's-
Especially with that sidearm. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I don't know.
This
That's
is my number one.
It's your number
Now, what's your name?
I'm Chrissy.
Chrissy, how you doing, Chrissy?
Good, good.
Her number one.
Like
No.
You got a number two?
You're demonstrating
like
this.
Star Trek. You got your number one, number two, Mighty. You know.
Yeah.
So
that's
this
good,
is the Vape XL Cloud Evo.
Okay.
I love it. It's top of the line. You don't have to buy this glass piece.
Ooh, a piece just
Something
fell
just
off
fell.
on the ground.
Oh, my basket.
Oh, there's a basket in there.
Be careful with your
Trisket, a
basket.
Yeah.
A ganja-filled basket.
Yeah, so you put your herb in there, or you could do wax because they
You can
come
put
with
your
nails.
weed in.
Wow.
Um,
Wax.
Yep, they come with nails and
Wax
leaves
on,
up.
wax off.
I like low temp dabs. And
Oh,
it's really smooth. Like you get the whole flavor.
Rosin, baby.
Yes. Terpy.
Yeah.
Terpadelic.
Welcome to Terp Town.
So it's just
Terp
like
sauce.
just like, you know, a bong, a bowl, you know, you
A bong, a bowl, a blunt, a blintz.
Cool. That thing is
Is that
cool,
thing
man.
plugged into something?
yeah, it's a tabletop.
Okay.
Do you guys have water? I can put water in here.
Water.
I have-
Bear
I have green tea.
I've got some water.
Ah,
near the table.
green tea.
Wow.
Here, just be careful. Yeah.
He said green.
He loves its green tea.
Oh, so you just pour it in there.
Put a little in the little.
Lefty. Like a water bottle
Oh no, water, no water.
Really? So what do you do?
Thank you.
Okay, so she poured the water in.
Okay. So you inhale, and then when you want to clear it, you
work it to the left.
lift it up.
Lift it up.
Work it to the right.
And it will come off. So.
Hey, baby.
It packs a wallop. Just saying.
You don't think so?
Oh.
Because at first it doesn't hit you, and then all of a sudden it's like, what the what?
Yesterday, I was like, what?
Very, very interesting, my friend.
Wow.
And I love these demos of these new fangled cannabis medication products.
That's very nice.
Very nice, very nice.
It is very nice. I think it might need to be
A live demo. You go, girl.
Let me,
What the beautiful lungs you have.
What's your report on that?
Oh, I get this.
Oh, now she gets the big joint. So how'd you feel about that? You like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's my number one.
Number one. Tracy, you like that?
With the split for that.
That.
I like everything.
Pretty good. That was pretty good. That was nice.
Spliffs
Where
are
do we
good.
find them, Lefty?
Now I've got the
Where do we find them?
Where's our vape guy? How come you don't have one?
Pure Puff.
Power Puff.
Eric?
He's getting lunch.
Eric from
Right
Pure
here.
Puff.
Oh, no. Eric. Have you
Puff
seen this new
vapor.
product, dude?
Tell me, have you seen her?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
That's how we met. I came to the store. I was like, yeah, we want to try this
Ah.
She
out.
set it up. She set it up in my shop, and I'm like, no, we need to take this outside.
We need to step into the back room.
Oh.
See,
Well,
cannabis being stigmatized once again, like it's
Really?
something abnormal. We have to step out of the room. Cannabis is normal, folks. The
Well,
longer
I mean,
we
if-
keep treating it, it's not.
if
It's
it
gonna
were
stay
my
that way.
house in my living room, I'd be like, hey, like, if you got him, smoke 'em.
Be a
But-
trendsetter. Come on.
I know.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Trust me. I mean, I'm all about it. I just
Right
don't
on.
want to alienate a certain
hear
population
you.
of my customers.
Well, right on. Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
still can't hear you.
Let's not polarize the already polarized more.
He is anti-polarization. Uh-oh. It's the bat phone.
You're on the air?
Hello?
With Sativa Cross, you're on the air.
Hey, Lefty. Hey, Wayne. How you guys doing?
Who's this?
The kid was recording this shit, but then...
This is Slava.
Hey, Slav, are you guys having a conversation off the... Are you serious? And then you wonder why I shut your mics off. Really? This is
Yeah.
what I got to go through.
Yeah,
and then he
Wayne.
yells at me. He's like, we need a good sound guy. We need a good sound guy. Well, he talks off the air. Blah, blah. Yeah. This is what I deal with. See? You see? Jesus. Thank you. You're hurtful. Hurtful, not helpful.
What do you do, just suck?
Yeah.
What about Weed Man?
Exactly.
What about Weed Man?
What's the deal?
Free Weed Man. Free New Jersey Weed
Yes,
Man.
we know. What about the Weed Man?
Exactly.
Did
We
you
need a
miss-
blow-by-blow.
Amy, hold on. Amy, just tell me and I'll make an announcement. There's an announcement. There is actually a plan. We have a plan for the Weed Man. I have permission to film. I got permission today to film. So as soon as I get the text from Danny or Karen, I'm going to get
How
in
do
the
I do
car
this?
and run over there and record it on Facebook. I'll go Facebook Live once I get into court.
You suck.
Within 5 minutes, I'll be there. So there you go. Okay? Are you happy now?
Okay,
No,
now
you're
we
hopping.
got-
She's-
I just want to wish Ed good luck today.
Merry Christmas.
And let's do this, guys.
He's
Let's
got
do
this.
guys.
He's got it. He's going to get out
He
today.
got it. He got
I
it.
didn't
He
think
got
you
it.
made that?
He'll get out.
No,
Yeah, man. So what's going on, Slav?
I didn't.
Wait, hold on.
much, man.
Really? You're still doing it? Okay, so
Sidebar conversation.
they're still doing it, Slav. Slav, you're the host.
Is that Slav?
Slav, you're the host. You're hosting the show now. Go ahead, go. Ready, go.
It's a little bit hard for me to hear you guys. But,
Huh?
Thank you.
What?
Thank
What?
you.
Good?
I can't hear you.
Now,
Come
there's
again?
now we go from blah to dead air.
again?
I hate you all. I
Come
hate you
again?
all today. I quit.
Come
I don't.
again?
I'm
Come again? Come
shutting it down.
I'm shutting it down. I'm shutting it down.
Lefty's having a meltdown.
Yeah. Lefty. Look at that joint. Holy shit, it's smaller than Lefty, if you know what I mean.
Meltdown.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Wayne,
Yes. How do what I do?
it's cooking.
What do I do? Just suck
Hey,
it?
Wayne,
You
you know.
inhale,
Yeah,
and
but
when
Suck
you
it,
clear
Wayne.
it,
Sort of like
lift it
that
up.
other thing.
Yeah, pretend it's a kabasi.
Stick it in your mouth.
Listen, I love you guys. I wish you all the best.
Slav, hold on.
Hold on.
I got a question. Slav.
All right,
We didn't hear his answer.
The first one, you're not going to get much. But it's great taste. but the second one you'll get real good.
It's like vape.
All right, Wayne's vaping.
Oh, yeah, it is vaping.
He likes it.
Yeah. It is a vape.
I can tell he likes it. He's going back for more.
Vapidelic.
Yeah, Wayne. Awesome, dude.
Look at the size of this puny roach. Come on.
It's bigger than
Roach
Lefty.
is good.
It's bigger than
Whose are
Leftina.
these and what are they?
They're brownies, and I think, did you make the brownies? And what kind of brownies are they? They're medicated with cannabis. All right, so there's no acid.
And you're having another conversation.
No LDS, LSD.
No fentanyl.
No.
Just Mother Nature cannabis. Thank you for letting me tap your bong. I'd like to tap it again.
Anytime.
Wayne loves to pack bongs.
Oh, was somebody talking? No, you hung up on him. That was
No, he asked
good.
him a question, and then all of a sudden he went away.
He went away.
It's
like,
should I finish this article or
no? We're done with that. I think. I hope.
Is that all you said, pretty much?
Yeah, I didn't say anything. I said it's a problem. I should have talked about handicap access.
You want it?
Well, the cool part is they're opening one up in Moorestown, not Morristown, but Moorestown, local to this zip code.
But when? Wasn't that shit supposed to open in April? Then they said May. It's gonna be June soon,
Yeah, well,
baby.
it's supposed to have legalization in the first 90 days, right?
100.
But hey, you know
But he
what?
put
Running the
that
state
off.
got in the way
He
of
put
that.
that off. Well, I'll tell you what got in the way of that, okay? The New Jersey Democrats, the state Democrats, the senators and assemblymen, they got in the way of it.
Stumbling over all the marijuana cannabis
There's
lobby.
still no bill.
Ron
no one
Rice
voted on the bill.
Ron Rice, who just walked by.
Yeah, your buddy there. You know, hey, raise your hand if you like Ron Rice. You did it again, you putz. Not you, him. He's the putz.
I have an excuse.
At least I'm not gay anymore like you.
But you're not gay any less either. See what I'm saying? Gay is gay.
No, you're gay from now on. There's no more Leftina. You can't say Leftina when you took a kabasi in your whole mouth. Twice.
Someone has the top
You
of
can't.
my
You just can't do it.
I didn't.
Can't do it.
I didn't touch your basket.
It keeps on sticking.
I wanted to touch your
Allegedly.
Shocking.
It likes to stick.
Shocking.
Shocking. That was shocking. I was very, very taken back by that. I'd only seen one other person be able to do that, Wayne.
Boy. Oh, boy. Squeeze that basket.
Yeah, she's putting the basket back on.
Fill that basket up, baby.
Trasket.
Fill up that basket.
Cannabis-filled basket.
Found the top of the basket.
Yo, so can we look up S10? While you're doing nothing, can you look up S10?
What's S10?
That's the bill the guy was talking about?
Oh, yeah. Joanne did like a really nice breakdown of everything in relation to what is and isn't. It was really nice. She posted it this morning or last night, yesterday. I read it. I think I've read so many at this point in time, between the crim and rescheduling and legalizing and my brain is just fried.
I'll say that.
Fried. So fried. So are you rolling down to the Veterans March on Saturday?
No, I gotta work.
No, you're rolling down? You're going down to DC? Our friend Pearson's down there, and George Armstrong.
What are they going to do down there?
Roughly how many
well, it's a Veterans March for legalization, rescheduling of marijuana, so that way they can gain easier access for our veterans. It's specifically, listed for our veterans, and I said to my husband, I was like, so are we going to DC? But, I think that we should. He's a veteran, so I think that we should definitely be down there. I don't know. Gotta talk him into driving me that far. But then we got stuff that we have to do up here, so we'll figure it out. Either way, it's for a good cause. Pearson's on his way down there right now. That's why he couldn't be here today. He's going to be, of course, marching as well as like George Armstrong and some other people that
Georgia
I know
boy.
Yeah, I know some other people that you guys are pretty close to are all going to be going down and marching, specifically for helping our veterans getting access to medical marijuana and not be listed as illegal drug abusers. So, we want them to be able to get jobs and to go to work and to not have to keep killing our Social Security and our which at the end of the day, if they're pulling a veteran's pension, it's coming out of Social Security. So, because that's where all the money comes from, the same place. The deposit that I get and the deposit that he gets, the only difference in it is that his says VA and mine doesn't. That's the only difference. It comes from the same exact place. So, that's got to be fixed so that these guys can go back to work and they can have job coverage and they don't have to rely on pills to work. That'll really save unemployment big time, save Social Security a lot of money. Something got to be done.
Word.
I hope so. Oh, I have that's one of the things I want to get done, but
Turn the dial. Hold on.
I turned the dial.
Canada dial.
Canada.
It wasn't me.
How did you contain yourself when he said that, dude?
That was the best. That was
Canada-ba-doo-doo.
Yeah, he was.
What?
And he's a researcher.
What?
Really?
What does he?
He worked for Bell Labs.
Now we know what he researches. The end of that Canada-ba-doo-doo sentence, right? Because he must be because he's so full of it.
Yeah, he was full of it, all right.
What part did I miss? I'm zoning out today.
Nothing. Take it easy.
Really, relax there.
Yeah,
Jesus
it's like I'm trying.
Holy
I'm
Haney,
trying
easy
not
there,
to be
Tiger.
Like, trying not to be like Philly girl
Holy
moody because
shit.
I'm coming up on
Holy
like
this
stuff.
is terrible. This is terrible.
What's that?
Yeah, man.
What are you smelling?
What's the strain?
Yeah,
I smell chemicals.
That's Haley's Comet.
Haley's Comet.
Whose is this?
Cureleaf. It's mine.
That sounds like
God.
a Haley's
You can take that back.
derivative.
That doesn't smell like that. Doesn't smell like chemicals to you? For real?
Oh, of course it does.
Hay-like?
It's shit.
That's
Oh
gonna
my
yeah, that's gonna give people MS.
But you gotta be
Smell
careful.
that.
You can't say anything because
God
if you
forbid.
go
That
and you
smells
piss them
horrible.
off, then they can say that you can't go there and be a patient there any longer.
No, all right.
That doesn't.
They've turned
All right.
people away, so you gotta be careful.
It won't give
with-
people MS. I take that back.
Yeah.
That doesn't
That's
alter
okay, they
the
turn me
THC
away.
level,
Yeah,
right?
It just smells like chemicals.
It does, and it's dirt, and it's crap.
Why don't they call it like
but,
Ajax?
yeah.
No, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks good,
it's-
but it smells like freaking chemicals.
Yes, it
Ajax.
You want one? No, I agree. Just finish this.
does. That one's canned up.
Eh,
So yeah.
it's supposed to smell more gasoline-y, but okay,
Yeah,
it definitely smells like chemicals.
Yep.
Chem dog, chemically. No good? No good?
Well, that's the kind of ham dog.
Supposed yo, turn me off one more. I swear to God, I'm a body slam
He's
you
gonna body slam
on
you.
this
I'm
table.
shutting
On
mics
this
off.
table.
It'll
I'm
do
s-
two things.
That's it.
Not
That's
the
it.
bong table.
Board
It'll-
Nazis in effect. I'm shutting people down.
Not the bong
I'm
table.
shutting
No.
people
No.
down.
No, this way he's got to get a new table. Look at this table. This looks like.
I need a soundboard.
can only hear
no,
one
no offense.
Really bad.
Oh, God.
This table is like reminds me of like Ed's, and Ed being the weed man.
Ed's Tiki Bar.
No, even worse.
This Ed's Tiki Bar. That's what it reminds
Ed's
me of.
freaking van. You ever been in a weed mobile?
I tried to sit in it after they crushed it, but it didn't work out so good.
Well, I was in there
That's
before they
hurtful.
crushed it,
Just Ed, forgive me, I'm playing.
and it looked like his table. It was like, oh my God, it was disgusting.
I think this was messed up when you tried it.
No, I'm
I hope
good.
he gets
I'm
it
good.
back.
I wanted her to try it. Where's she?
Trying to do something here.
She left. She was like, screw it. This thing
The older
stunk.
lady.
This thing stunk.
I'm good.
Screw
Rich.
it.
I'm good right
No,
now.
actually, she's really, really high in the corner somewhere. She don't even know it. She's playing chess, but they're playing
Novices,
checkers.
Them
Go
damn
figure.
novices.
So real quick, me and Courtney and I went to Gloucester
Courtney?
Township. Right here, Courtney.
Courtney?
I met her through the support group, and we went to Faye's court to go support her.
Okay.
And
you know Faye, okay.
I don't know her at all.
Well, your friend, you know of her and her
Yes,
story.
yes.
Yeah, you want to support her. That's great.
Oh, right on. Thank you.
The support is what matters.
Why don't she come support us?
Well, yeah, she had work today.
No,
so
I meant you.
I'm here. I want to go.
Oh, I meant in the studio. Never mind. I'm sorry.
So
they're taking it to a place that I think
Yummy,
just went
right?
way.
Holy shit.
Wait, like, was that this? When you were saying, like, you know,
She makes caramels too. I'm sorry. When people hang out, like, edibles, she's saying like
I have no idea.
You're talking about having fun in the
taste,
studio,
dude,
and
the
I'm
taste.
knowing what kind of fun you're talking about, and I think she's like missing.
No, that's the
I
kind of
know.
fudge I like.
the
to
kind
have.
of fun you're talking about.
She's being all serious, and
Am I
that's
gonna
very
be okay?
professional.
Yes, it is.
I didn't make them.
But
I
this
can't
isn't-
have them. Thank you.
This
Only one
isn't a
person has to
professional
talk.
broadcast.
Only one
I got
person talk.
diabetes.
Hold on. Only one person can talk at a time because it's very, very confusing for
Are you
people
talking
listening.
with your friggin' mouth?
You got four. I'm a making. This is an emergency. This is an emergency.
Emergency.
Because I'm shutting it down.
You're
I'm
shutting it
shutting you
down.
down.
Shutting
Because
it
if you
down.
start talking, I'm shutting you down, just like that.
Shut us down.
There it is. There it is. I was like, shoot, I'm a animal. I'm a hypocrite. I agree. I'm a hypocrite, but I don't care. I got the board. Now stop.
I've got the board.
No, one person at a time, and now it'll be dead air for like 10 minutes. Now, no one's gonna talk.
No, we're gonna
But
talk.
no,
We're gonna punish you. You'll have to
listen to
talk.
me. You're all talking over each other. It has to stop because I'm listening and I'm going crazy here. So I'm just saying for the listeners,
Well, maybe you were.
they're stoned.
Yeah,
but
why don't you just worry about the
true that.
sound over there, all right?
that's exactly what I'm doing. Sound rant over. Continue. Ready? Go. Dead air. 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 I love it. See? I love it. I knew it. Stoners.
Me now.
You stoners.
now.
See?
Who's supposed to talk first?
It's a.
I will.
We can't
so
help it.
court yesterday.
Yes, Faye.
Yeah, fellas.
Thank you.
Like we used to be able to smoke. I know as of 4 years ago when I had court, they had a smoking area right there. You were allowed to. So I was like, it's raining, pouring. Should I have my medication on me? I wasn't too sure about that. Well, I didn't bring it in, but I brought in like something really like deadly. Like it's like a opioid medication.
That you can take
know.
them.
That's
yeah.
okay.
That's
That's
fine.
fine.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
it-
acceptable.
Family friendly. Ho ho.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Drop one of those. You won't kill anyone.
It was actually methadone, and you don't even have to crush it up. You just drink it.
They don't care. Nope.
And
You're allowed.
so I asked.
Unreal.
I said, am I able? I'm a medical marijuana patient. Am I allowed to have my medication? You need to go to your car now. Oh. You need to go to your car now.
Like
and,
a leper.
And I
Like
was like,
a
I don't
leper.
have my medication on me. I'm not ignorant. Like you know. So I said, where would I be able to medicate? Oh, you can smoke cigarettes, but you can't medicate. And I'm like, huh.
Oh.
Oh, well,
And I
that's
would
an
have pulled
issue
the
there.
law out that I carry everywhere
I
with me
said,
and
huh.
been like,
Instead of
right?
like being a smartass, I said, no, you're wrong. I was like, that's a little odd. And then he was like, you know what, that is odd. Let me check with Superior.
Oh, right on.
And so he came back. He said, there's no smoking at all. As I see, I'm walking and I see no smoking at all on public or township property, and they have a park next door, which they always had that park, but they upgraded it. So
We gotta follow the law.
Yeah, no
so
children.
I was like, okay, well, so you're telling me I'm
99% of cigarette smokers break that law every day anyway. So
I was smoking cigarettes there, nobody cared, but it was medical marijuana. Well, me and Courtney ended up medicating, and a half an hour later I saw my message, and I'm like, oh yeah, we forgot. I was brutally honest with her, and like I was gonna take a tolerance break, and then I got stepped on by a horse. She brought something real nice with myrcene in it, and I was able to medicate. I didn't think I could like get that like relaxed feeling because I'm always rushing around that speedy. And I was like, you know what?
Hold up.
Nice.
Hold up. You said you got stepped on by a friggin' horse?
Yeah. I feed the horses on the weekend.
Oh, okay.
I used to have horses all my life, but now I moved. So I was from Indiana. But so it's
What part of Indiana?
Anderson, about 45 minutes out from Indy.
Right
so
on. Ever been to Market Square Arena?
Are you a fan?
I think
Yeah.
Easy on the question.
Where's that?
man.
Where's that?
It's the big
Right
arena
next to
right
the
in downtown
penitentiary.
Indy.
I think so.
It used to be called Market Square Arena a million years ago. I haven't been there in a long time. Sorry to.
They have the Pepsi
any
Coliseum.
updates?
I used to show my horses there.
Right on. How cool is that?
Updates.
Good for you, man.
Updates on Weed Man.
Gotta look at your freaking phone, bro.
There's no updates. We'll hear it. It'll chirp.
So I said, you
Hasn't been
know,
chirping
you're
all
telling
morning,
me I'm able to bring in my methadone medication, in which it's deadly and anybody could just drink it.
Causes
but
death.
I cannot bring in this non-addictive form of medical marijuana, in which you would have to literally heat up to even feel the psychoactive effects.
Non-lethal.
Nobody was behind me. Everybody was quiet, and he was like, "Keep it moving, keep it moving." And I was like, "That's kind of ignorant." But he did say I could walk across the street and medicate there.
Well.
And as I'm thinking, those are properties, those are homes. So he's basically telling me to go on somebody else's property and go medicate.
Well, basically, if you're on the sidewalk
There
in
you
New
go.
Jersey, it's technically, like, depending on the township, it's like, I know in Oakland,
He didn't
like, the
Ignorance is no
sidewalk
excuse. He
is
didn't say
owned
sidewalk.
by the township.
Yeah, where's the border? Show me that border.
But then,
the border.
like, the grass area from, like, the sidewalk to the street is your property again. It's, like, really weird.
So I
it's,
guess
like,
that's-
just the sidewalk is like, the
I didn't know
township.
that.
It's, like,
He
really
didn't
crazy.
specify, so I was just like, screw it, I'm going in my car. So, I just, you know, that really pisses me off.
It's.
I mean, I was
so
able to
bad.
get off my medication, which was, I was in a bad motorcycle accident, and I, you know, go up on painkillers, go up, 30 milligrams 4 times a day. Then they wanted to put me on Oxycontin, 40 to 80, like really quick within a 2-month span. And I ended up being pregnant, so this is what my doctor said. I legally cannot, you know, give you any kind of painkiller, you know. He could give me Subutex, but there wasn't that much information about babies and stuff. They only had a couple years on it, whereas methadone had 70 plus years of all this information. And I've done over 80 hours of like classes and stuff for that. Like, I felt bad, but if I stopped the medication,
How old's your
he would have
child?
just miscarried, and you know, he's 5 now. So
My son's 8, and medical marijuana saved his life. I mean, the neonatologist told us that was the best thing that we ever did, was keep me on medical marijuana, because if not, he would not be here today.
So I'm actually I started the program 4 months ago, and I'm off the oxycodone, which I've gone down to 5 milligrams 4 times
for
to 3
you.
times. So all the way off of it, and all the way off the alprazolam, which was 8
Right
milligrams
on.
a day.
We
but-
all need to hear
Yeah.
more stories like yours. Right the fuck on.
Can be done, people. You hear it.
Yep.
Another
I mean,
miracle
I'm
story about
still-
cannabis.
I'm still
Hell
on the
yeah.
methadone, which, you know, I'm working on.
But you'll get there.
Right on.
Keep coming back.
Mhm.
Well, hey man, 4 miles into the forest, 4 miles back out.
Right, absolutely. You know, you gotta take a couple steps. You gotta be willing to take those steps to be able to make the changes that are worthwhile in life. So.
I feel medical marijuana saved, like, I used to be.
Yeah.
Give her a mic. No, sorry. He has it. There you go.
I got into perk 30s and destroyed my life, like, matter 2 years, I want to say.
Ever been in jail?
No.
All right, well, you got to put that
Lucky.
mic right up like you've been in
you
jail.
I had
Right.
to learn too, because
Gotta be like, hi.
Some of us
That
white
way we
girls,
can
we
hear
don't
you. I'm
get it.
sorry.
Some of us white girls don't quite understand that you have to hold it like here, or else they can't hear anything and all that. You gotta hold it like it's like a, you know, you're going down on somebody.
$20, sir.
You're having some fun there.
Another hour?
So
Hour and a
long
half?
story short, I destroyed my life in a matter of pretty much 2 to 3 year span with perk 30s, and got myself clean and continue to be clean now with the help of medical marijuana. And on top of it, when I got clean, there was all kinds of medical issues that came out of the woodwork because I self-medicated for so long.
You were covering.
Get up on there. Get up on there.
With the pillows that was covering the problems. So, and then when you came off the pillows,
medical.
it showed up.
Yeah, medical.
It showed, oh, this ABCD are the problems. That sucks. But now you got it under
Medical,
control with the
federal.
with medical marijuana.
I was on
Social.
Vivitrol. I don't know if you
know what I'm saying?
familiar with that.
Oh, yeah.
I feel it was killing me.
Oh, hell yeah.
I've been off of that since the beginning of April.
Yo, where's your small shirts for this guy?
And
I went. I just got a big one.
I went from being in the bed to now here standing. You know, just chilling out.
It's the only reason why I can stand. I hear that.
I don't feel comfortable with kids around. Like, they just pass by.
No,
so.
we're good with that is one thing that.
No, hold on. This woman just told a story. Hold on. This woman just told a story, and we're just going to gloss over that. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible what patients are going through.
It is.
And we're not going to.
No.
Thank you, sir. Which one did you take, sir? I'm a veteran. Oh, you're a veteran.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing awareness.
Thank you.
That's what we're trying.
Thank you, and get your medical card, man.
It's got to be done to help you guys out.
Can you get a card?
Not yet. Let's go. Anxiety.
Go get one.
You live in Trenton.
Yeah, I got anxiety. You get anxiety.
Just living here in Trenton, you have anxiety.
Yeah.
You qualify.
Yeah, you do.
You living here in Jersey.
Thank you.
Yeah, you live in Jersey.
Peace, brother.
Tretinitis.
Yo, man.
Oh, man.
I got a new idea. $20 for a shirt, and you get a fucking joint. Just saying, brother. Something to think about.
Yeah, but they gotta at least show.
When it's legal, I'm all down for that.
They show.
Yeah.
All right,
cool. Go ahead and give your weed away, though.
I did.
Go ahead and
like,
distribute.
They gotta give us their own. Like, we can roll them a joint of their own weed, but we can't give them our weed.
Yeah, it's illegal to give away.
Or share. Good thing I didn't give him our weed. I gave him whoever's weed was in here.
No, none of that.
Whose weed is?
I have no idea.
Oh shit, that might be my weed. Oops.
Here you go.
He liked it. He liked the shirt.
You may sit here for a while if you like.
Yeah, we had that discussion about sharing.
We could share. We could do whatever we want.
No, we can't. We're not allowed to share. No, they told me that we were. I thought we were too, but
not legally.
No, legally we can't.
We have to show them how we roll joints like that
as
too.
patients, so you have
Joints.
to. You have to like and.
You can. We can share a joint because we put your own weed each sectional.
And that's why I just get here and put my weed out.
We break everyone's
weed. I know
weed.
that's what we end up doing.
It's a given.
But that's not like.
Minus the
that's
third,
something that
7th,
I've
and
done
11th
forever. I
section
never
actually.
thought that was something that we legally had to do, and then you guys brought it to my attention.
What did you
that
say, Rich?
Legally, we have to.
What was that?
Well, I said that my section of that joint was the 7th, 11th, and 3rd. And I think the 15th to be the last part.
I got the
Cokes were mine in that
Mine
joint,
was
really.
like the 1st and then the 4th.
Right.
That's why you keep
no
order.
laws were broken.
You got to keep the order.
Right. Like
Right. So it's all numerical.
That's why we make sure we just put it out on the table, and that way everybody's
Numerical?
Numerical.
Okay.
Numericated. No.
Right.
I mean medicated. Yeah.
Numerical order.
Numerical order. Yeah.
I like that. Put your joint in numerical order. That's there it is. That's all right.
We are creating legalese.
Excuse me.
As you get here, put your card on the table, and that way we
here,
can see what it is.
We do not smoke firecrackers.
Which order are you going in?
The fuck is that?
I don't know.
Put the firecracker away,
It's a joint.
Is that one of those flavored?
It's all natural hemp with all natural CBD.
Looks like if you like that, something's gonna happen.
No,
like,
you're
bam!
all good. And then, a firecracker. I thought you said like my AVC already vaped cannabis. I was like, hell no. I mean, if I was desperate.
You mean the gonna be butter?
And jar. I got my glass tip in there.
Right.
Ooh,
it
just
tastes
a
really
tip.
good.
Just a tip.
We've had that conversation.
Yes, you need the tip. At
Just
first, just
the tip.
Yeah.
But then at the end, you
that
put it
went
all
down
in.
a really bad
That is another one of those
road.
universal lies. Just the tip, I swear.
Worked for me my first time. I lost $20, but hey.
hey.
I'm just saying.
Those little fudgicle things were badass. I have to say they were rad.
I just want in my mouth.
Is that
Can you ask me a question?
Answer me now.
The
I ate a lot.
put you up to
I
this.
don't eat
Adam.
Let's put you up to this, isn't it?
You have to be all the way up here and like.
Lefty's a good
Real
lip
question.
reader.
Let's put this full of his mouth and ask no question.
Hey, don't put your mic up. I cut you off. You hear him over there, right? Like a friggin'
Are those
cow.
strong?
He told me
I don't
if
eat
you're
edibles,
gonna eat, he said
so
if
I'm a
you're
little
gonna
nervous.
chew
Jesus.
earlier, he's
I
like,
don't know.
you have to put the mic to
I
your
ate
mouth.
a brownie and a half and one of those other things. And I took like 3 things of my tincture.
Oh my god.
Oh, the tincture,
Really?
you're fucked, man.
Anybody want tincture?
Yeah.
You got tincture? Is it sweet or is it
It's hot. Like it's that spicy
it's the hot
weed.
shit.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But after I
Fuego.
boiled it, tastes like more like Everclear. So, but you get dry mouth real quick. I was capping them, but it's different when you do that. Like you get a whole different effect.
Is it a
Great
sativa
medication.
or
I just-
CBD?
Oh, mate, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be at the.
What happened? You're our
What's up?
spy.
You're our spy.
Where's our spies?
Jesus
what happened?
There goes that idea.
Are they on lunch?
Well, I'm really sorry to see that your ankle got hurt. I'm sorry.
Karen, grab the mic. What's going on over at Ed's case? Tell me.
They are at lunch.
Okay, what happened before that?
The jury had 2 questions. 2 pretty dumb questions, actually.
Hey.
So I don't know if that's good or bad,
No,
but
it's all right.
What were the answers?
the answers were just as dumb as the questions. No.
Was it
They wanted to know who the witness was. If the witness was Zev or Zev's family.
Okay.
Okay, what the whole case is about Zev, right? So.
Well, that might be the thing because technically, Zev doesn't have
I
an
love
address.
you, Wayne. I
love
miss
you.
you.
More, baby.
Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Mwah, 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 mwah. And they also asked if they can read the article, the newspaper article that was in one of the exhibits. Obviously,
The redacted one.
Obviously,
No.
they have it in their hands, so it's
No.
evidence. Of course they can read it. If it's in the jury room, they can read it.
Well, no. You have to understand that's the redacted
version.
That's the redacted version.
Oh, okay.
They want to read the
well.
whole thing.
No, they wanted to.
Exactly,
They
because
wanted
what
to
happened
know
was happened was the prosecutor, he got slick. While he was testifying, while Ed was testifying, he asked him a question. Now, while Ed's testifying, technically only his lawyer at the time, the stand-in lawyer, can ask or object in that shit. Okay, because Ed can't do that as a witness. So
Thank you.
the prosecutor asked him a question about that redacted piece of paper.
Okay.
All right, and Ed was like, isn't that redacted? And then that's when the lawyer and the prosecutor and the judge went to sidebar. And then it was like already too late because Ed answered the question. So now that's the piece of paper. They want to see what else. That's the big fucking thing.
No, it wasn't that.
Yeah, that's the Ed saying. That's the Ed saying in an interview. I wanted to shake his world, and that's what they're trying to. The prosecutor's making it look like that's a bad thing. Like he wanted to shake his world. Well, no. What he wanted to do was, he wanted to make sure
Shake his world like it shook mine. That was the completed quote. Like he shook mine. That's how it. And they didn't see the like he shook mine. They just saw the first part. That changes the whole narrative. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they took it completely out of context.
Okay. I didn't know that, but I don't know.
So the judge, of course, I call him Judge Fugazi.
Yeah, he looks
Judge,
like one.
Judge Fugazi. He was probably, he's just a dick. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, they all are.
And especially this guy.
It's just amazing that, this judge is so biased against Ed. Like, just from me just watching the video, the video of the court, I just couldn't believe it. Like, he's a biased judge. He's supposed to be impartial. What happened?
How was the prosecutor behaving today?
I didn't really get to see him.
Dickie.
You didn't see Dickie Boyles?
Dickie
Yeah,
Boyle.
no, I seen him,
Did
but
Dickie come
yeah,
out?
he looks like a little punk that got picked on in school. And that, yeah, he does.
Bullying is bad. It creates these kind of
I mean, I seen him in there laughing and joking and talking, but you know,
the
to
effects
me,
of
it's,
bullying
you
in
know.
the court system.
When you bully people, this is what happens. They become prosecutors.
And they bully sometimes.
He's probably doing lines in the bathroom, but
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
rails.
he looks like the kind.
Oh, that would make sense.
Wow.
He was
That
very
would explain an awful
fidgety
lot
and,
of
you
his.
know.
You've been in the
eccentric
bathroom, right?
behavior.
Not with him.
Well, they got the handicap
don't
urinal.
worry.
And it's really, 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 really low.
Yeah.
That's for Dickie Boyles.
Oh, my God.
That's so he can go to the bathroom.
Oh, my God. That's shocking.
Hey, what was Ed wearing?
His orange.
He was wearing what? His orange suit or his
His orange
jumper.
suit for the past year,
oranges.
yeah.
Did the jury
so
see him at all?
No, the jury didn't come in.
Okay,
They
good.
just had questions, yeah. It was heartbreaking to see him in the orange, you know? Like,
Well.
makes it all real. It's terrible. But to me, they got what they wanted to get. They wanted to close the joint down, and they wanted to put him in jail, and that's what they did. So he's going to be found not guilty, and they're going
joint's
to
open.
still win. They're going to still win because that's what they did. They harassed everybody. Oh, forget it. They put him away. They drove him out of business.
Shut him up.
Shut him up.
Please,
I'm telling you, this can happen to anybody. See, this is what people have to realize. This is corruption. I mean,
That's
how can you be
scary.
held in jail without bail? And he didn't even commit a crime. I mean, there's freaking murderers that are out. Look at the newspaper in Trenton. People are let out all the time for murdering, raping, and he's in there. I never even seen Ed raise his voice.
I seen Ed raise his voice.
I never seen him raise his voice.
did.
I had an argument with him, and it wasn't even arguing because he didn't argue.
Nah, Ed, he's a screamer.
Is he?
Yeah.
I never seen it.
But
wait a minute, what kind of screamer are we talking about? That was a joke. Wayne, come on, where's your sense of humor, Wayne?
I'm trying not to laugh.
Come on, Wayne.
That's my serious. I'm trying not to laugh face.
My one shoulder's
was
going to
good.
get burned. I get burned in 5 minutes. Anyway, that's the report.
What time are we going back to court?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Wow, I can make that.
Everybody
Yep, 2 o'clock.
We could all make that.
Yeah, and it was just in time because my battery in my phone was at 3%. So.
All right, I'm going to attempt something here. I'm going to call the Balkan brothers up, and I need to listen to this phone call. So everybody has to. Okay. You want to hear it? All right, this is the Balkan brothers. These guys, it's a two-man band. Two-man band. I saw these guys.
Live music?
It's ridiculous.
Is this the live music we were promised?
We're not promised. I didn't promise any live music.
Someone promised us live
so
music.
High, so low.
Yo, hey, it's me the way. I'ma say get fucking hot. I didn't do that.
This guy plays bass on his guitar. He has like an effect pedal, and he toggles the bass in and out. It's sick, man. This guy's nuts. Balkan Brothers.
Guy plays bass on his guitar.
We're going to call these guys as soon as we get back from break.
I don't get. He plays bass on guitar.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Well, these guys rock.
Yo, I think he's doing it across the streets listening.
People in Trenton are banging their heads here. It's great.
Are there any words to this shit?
Maybe. Nasty. Two-man group, man. Two people in this group. Two brothers. Balkan brothers. Gotta love it. We're gonna give them a call right now.
Give a call right now. Come on, Schmappy. You there? Hello? Hello? Hello, this is the Balkan brothers, my friend. Oh, no. Oh, it's Balkan. No, they don't answer phones. Don't you fucking get it?
They must have did research on our podcast and said, I ain't going on that show. I ain't going on it. No. I ain't going on that show.
Hello, you've reached the voicemail box of Nicholas Balkan. Please leave a message, and he will call you back at a convenient time. Thank you.
No.
At the tone, please record your message.
Oh,
when you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hello.
Hello. This is Lefty.
Wayne.
No, wait. This is Lefty.
You shut up.
And Wayne.
You're supposed to do it like that.
And Lefty.
How are you doing? This is Sativa Cross.
Hello?
Is that really your voice?
Hello? We're supposed to do an interview. Hello?
I told you. Musicians.
Hey.
Musicians don't answer phones, bro.
Well, they're supposed to call me then.
No.
They need to call me. Yeah, we're on the air right now.
Do you even know who the hell you are?
They're probably sleeping, and they don't know who I am. I didn't give them any details. I just said, you want to be on... Are you really just doing that right now?
Did you tell them?
I am going to kill you.
I don't know.
I'm going to kill all you.
I don't know.
What did we do?
Up on the mic. Up on the mic, just like jail.
Get on that mic, yeah.
Get up
What
on
did we
that.
do? What are we doing?
Well, we're leaving a message for the Balkan brothers because they're supposed to be on our show.
Well, we knew that.
And they balked.
But
So
you were
cool.
doing that. Burn.
Oh, wow.
That's why they be balking.
You Balkan
Now these
brothers.
guys balked.
And we listened to their whole song and everything.
Yeah, we
too,
just
man.
listened to your
They-
song, So High, So Low, because you performed that.
I only liked half of it.
It was good because you.
I only liked the so high part. That's the low part. That sucked. The so high part was kind of cool, though. I'll give him that. So it was half all right.
It's a two-man band. The guy plays bass on his guitar. It's sick. Sick.
I don't understand that. What does that mean? He plays his bass on a guitar. Don't you play the fucking bass on a guitar? Yes, no, maybe so. Hello, Lefty.
I'm busy turning mics down.
You suck. Lefty, you suck.
I'm busy. Listen.
Talk to me, damn it.
I'm watching.
Oh, you made this? Okay.
Listen.
It's good. It's good?
I'm watching them play, and I'm like hearing
I'm
a
not gonna
bass.
diet,
I
am
hear
I?
a bass, and I'm like, oh, it's programmed. And I'm seeing the drummer just like go into some things, and the guitar is doing something, and I'm like, wait a minute, that ain't programmed. They just went into some weird break. That ain't programmed. I know how to program. That ain't programmed. And so I went up there, and sure enough, he had one pickup playing the bass on a pedal, on an octave pedal. And he'd toggle it in and out. Whenever he wanted bass, he'd play it, he'd hit it. And out. I never seen no one. It was sick. Sick. So.
Hello. Hello, is my tongue still there?
So,
Yes.
so we got the Balkan brothers on their message. We can at least leave them a message. Give me a call back at 908-616-0682. 908-616-0682. We'll be on the air for another
Hold on.
30 minutes because Weed
Hold
Man's
on.
getting out of jail. We got to go over there now.
I want to talk to the brother who's the so high brother. The so low guy, we don't need to talk to you, buddy. You can stay home.
Level it off.
We want the so high brother.
We want
the cool one.
Level it off.
Right?
So high, come down a little bit. So low, you better,
No, don't
step
come
it up a
down.
little.
Don't you ever come down. Doom, 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 doom.
All right.
So high. Sorry.
All right, so we're at the State House in New Jersey. We do a podcast here from the State House, sativacross.com. You can come check us out there. If I didn't send you any information, it's sativacross.com. And
did you send these jabronis information
I just
or
told them
not?
they're going to be on the podcast or not. And they're like,
What the hell? What do you mean you just told them?
I need a publicity person.
Let me ask you a question, dummy.
I need someone to do that. I didn't have time.
Let me
to
ask you a question.
God,
Did you call them up and leave it on a friggin' answering machine?
God. We're doing that now.
Oh, my God.
We're
Did
doing that
you
now.
even
What-
call them
Do
before?
I need to handle your publicity for you
Please,
from now on?
please, because I can't do it all.
I can handle
You
that.
see what I'm
because
dealing with
I can
here?
do that from home, too. That's stuff that I can do when I'm
Please,
at home.
yeah. Exactly.
I mean,
You see what I'm dealing with here?
Really,
I
this
got-
moron made it sound like he
Overloaded.
did it.
absolutely.
He made it sound like, I called these people up, and while I spoke to them, they know what the deal is. And then this is like the first time they're even hearing us.
You're being hurtful.
How did you know my name was Lefty?
You're being hurtful.
Hi, my name Lefty. How are you?
And Amy, you're being hurtful too, starting conversations off the air. This is why I turn the mics off. This is why I turn mics off, see?
La 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 la.
This is why, look at them. They're doing their own show. They're doing their own show over there. Those two, and then they get mad at me why their mics are off. Why are my mics off? Why are my mics off? Because you're doing your own radio show. Okay, what were you guys talking about? Here, I'll turn me and Wayne off, and you guys go.
Who
Ready?
cares?
She was saying how nice it is that I said that I would take care of your publicity stuff while I'm at home.
She
since
said
I'm
it's
gonna be
great while
recovering
she's
from surgery.
recovering.
That way
She
I
can help
I
you
still feel like I'm
out.
involved.
We got you back.
Please.
Yeah, what's the
Lefty.
Lefty,
That's what
what's
we
your
were
cell
saying,
number?
actually.
Yeah, she was saying how nice
we were
it was
planning
of
your.
me.
We were
You
planning.
have reached the maximum time permitted for recording
Yeah.
If you're satisfied
All right,
with the
repeat
message,
your
press
number
1.
one more
To listen to
time.
your
That's
message, press 2. To erase and re-record, press...
That's just
You
great.
want
Okay,
that?
I'm turning your mic back on, Wayne.
Wayne,
That was
Thank
great.
you.
That was
We did
great.
read your
Thank
number
you.
again,
Thank you. That was
About
funny.
time, man.
Wayne,
Of
was-
all these messages, bro,
908-626.
and you're like crazy. You're killing me over here, bro.
You're killing
You
me.
shut our mics off,
Oh.
and all they hear is blah, blah, blah.
Oh my
blah,
God.
blah.
everybody else heard it loud and clear.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, it was a bunch
were
of
being
nothing.
Kind. We were talking about how we were going to help out while I wasn't here.
You remember that?
What's
That
up,
way I was
John?
Still being involved.
This guy's around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way I'm still doing something even though
Yes,
I'm
you are.
That was a little too much.
I can't be
Can I
here
have the show
chatting
number
with you
again,
guys.
please?
Wait,
Show.
give
Yeah,
Eric a mic.
what's the phone?
I
the
just
show
need a show
number?
number. I just need the phone number to the show.
Oh, 908
554-4455.
616-0682.
It's Lefty's number. You know Lefty's number.
I have other people that are supposed to call in, but
I hope so.
I don't know.
Yeah, but right now we're just waiting to hear more words from the courthouse, right?
Yeah,
Are they
I'm
back
going to
in
have to
yet?
run early to go to the courthouse. Oh, my God.
Are they back in yet?
2 o'clock.
They're
2 o'clock.
good.
We have to
2
be
o'clock,
we have to be
that's a-
over there by
that's a-
2.
I'm
That's
just
a
saying
late
what I was
having
told.
lunch.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
So let's head out of here early.
It's no fun.
Rolling out.
No, thank you.
So maybe we should
I
call our
appreciate it, but that'll kill me.
maybe we should call our co-host in Oregon and
Co-host.
begin to end the show.
Hold on, what time is it?
If we're leaving that early, I think
What time is it?
I would say so because
Yeah, we got to get going.
it's 1:30 now.
Yo, easy with that.
We gotta be. Oh, thank you so
All right.
much.
I want to
It's
thank
no fun.
sativacross.com, cmmnj.org.
You said who won it?
Let me call. Let me make a phone call.
You're making a phone call? Oh, Jesus. If she doesn't pick up, forget it.
She's at work today. And then I'll see you guys as soon as I can get back, but I have the numbers, so I'll keep in touch, keep up with the publicity.
You go back to the hospital when?
I go on the 31st.
31st. You can listen to us.
Yeah.
Listen to us while you're there.
I will. You know what? My surgeon will probably put it on for me, too, because he's all about me doing this stuff.
We'll give you a shout out.
I appreciate
What's
that.
your name?
I don't know.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice
Hopefully I'll
messaging
figure it out.
system. 5
4 3 7 8 2 2 2 7 3. Oh, Jesus, I was right.
available.
Wayne, you don't know my
The
name
mailbox
by
is
now?
full and cannot accept any messages at
No,
this time.
Tracy, just tell me.
No, Tracy, just tell you.
Hurtful.
Now then. I think
Yeah, let's go. Take it from the top, bro. Sativa Cross West is like, you know, they're like playing Sativa Cross East. Here, do you want me to do it? I'll do it. I'll read it for you if you want.
MagicalButter.com, NewJerseyWeedman.com, United Food and Commercial Workers Union. David, are you going to really talk over this?
It's fucking music. What do you? This is talking.
No, you're horrible. DavidVersusAutism.org, Medical-Freedom.com, NewJerseyCannabisBusiness.com, CannabisLegalSolutions.net, New Jersey Grannies for Grass, Minorities for Marijuana, Canaway, JacksonStorms.com, Jenny's Purple Ribbon Journey, Jenna's Journey, Ariel Photography, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, Weed for Warriors, Northeast Veterans Alliance, Pure Puff Vapor Supply.
There you go. What about the guys that were here today?
And Sativa Cross West.
They came to talk. Bill Caruso.
That was the New Jersey Cannabis
And that
Association.
was Scott.
Scott Rudder, and then we had Hugh McBurn, or O'Byrne.
Hugh O'Byrne.
So loud.
Better be West.
You're on the air with Sativa Cross.
Hey, Ed, it's Lonnie.
Oh, hey, dude, you called just in time. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, no problem. Oh, that's great. I'm sorry. I would have called earlier. My mom actually went to the hospital today, so I just got back from that.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Lonnie, you're actually opening a dispensary here in New Jersey. Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay. What dispensary is this called?
It's called the Holistic Center.
Okay, and where is this going to be at?
We don't have a definitive location yet. It's still up in the air. We're looking at possibly Cherry Hill, Morristown, and maybe also New Brunswick.
New Brunswick would be good.
Yeah. So I'm actually a Rutgers graduate, so I know New Brunswick very well.
Awesome. That's really good. Do you already have dispensaries in other places?
No. We're New Jersey natives. I've done a lot of research on this issue, and we're looking to start one here in New Jersey because that's where we're from. But no, we don't have any connections to outside companies or anything else like that.
Oh, that's good. That's actually good. We like that. You're not the you're not corporate cannabis, which.
Oh no,
yeah.
Not at all.
That's
We
great.
have zero connections to any corporate cannabis or anything like that, and we totally agree. We want to, especially in New Jersey, we want New Jersey entrepreneurs. We want this to help people in New Jersey, and people from outside New Jersey can be helped by starting one in their own state. But we don't want people coming from all over the country to come to New Jersey, start one here, because they don't really care about New Jersey. They don't care about the state. They're just looking to make money.
Yeah, everybody sees dollar signs, and nobody's concerned about the patients anymore. It's a shame.
Exactly. Yeah, and it really is a shame, and that's definitely a pattern that we're hoping to break. Well, we're not going to break the pattern. You want to be different. You don't want to be anything like that. We want to put the patient first, and we want to put our state and community at the forefront, and we're hoping that will be a good example because a lot of these people who are against legalizing marijuana, they talk about the bad actors in the marijuana industry, and there are a lot of bad actors, and we want to minimize that, and we want to be we want to show people that we can do it right, that we can have a marijuana company that is there for patients, that's never trying to get marijuana in the hands of children or people who shouldn't have it, and we're just trying to do the right thing.
On permits.
Yeah, you working on permits?
What was that?
Are you working on permits? Amy asked you.
Yeah, we're working on getting a retail permit for medical marijuana right now.
Nice.
Because of the changes to the program from the governor, it used to be that there was vertical integration.
Yes.
So if you wanted to open a place here in New Jersey, you'd have to do everything. You'd have to grow it and then put it together, everything, and it would cost millions of dollars to be able to do all of that. and that really takes away from the ability for a regular entrepreneur from New Jersey to be able to come in and open a marijuana shop. So because of that change, we're now looking to open a retail medical marijuana shop in New Jersey. It's it's still very much in the air. We're doing a lot of work, but one thing that I really wanted to put forward now is a resource for everyone and anyone to find out the truth about marijuana. There's a lot of myths out there, a lot of lies from old studies or studies that have been debunked, and I did a lot of research myself to try to find out for myself, because I don't want to lie to people. I don't want to tell people incorrect information. It's true that marijuana is not 100% safe, but it's a hell of a lot safer than pretty much every other vice out there, and we should be honest and open about what the truth is. You know, is it, for example, one thing that we don't know for sure is, you know, pregnant women, is it okay for them to smoke marijuana?
There's not enough research out on it, so we're not recommending it at this time.
But I know for sure that my son would not be here if I didn't smoke medical marijuana during my pregnancy, and his neonatologist even told us that that is a 100% absolute positive. If I did not do that, he would not be alive today, and he's 8 years old.
Wow.
He's an actor and model.
Wow.
He has no deficiencies other than OCD and ADHD, which are like most normal 8-year-olds have that. But the neonatologist straight up said to us that had I not smoked medical marijuana during my pregnancy, he would not be here today, period.
Wow. That's incredible. Well, so, I mean, I certainly, I've never heard a story like that, and that's amazing, and I'm glad that you trusted your instinct, because that would have been terrible if you had decided it didn't work out. But in the end, when it comes to, you know, the information that we provide to the public, you know, it has to be science-based. I never want to give anyone information that's ever incorrect in any way possible. So I created on my website a huge resource that goes through every major myth about marijuana. It gives you all the facts for you to look at yourself. It's everything is cited perfectly, so you can look it up for yourself. And things like, could it harm a woman who's pregnant? It's possible. It's based on the information that we have. So we don't have information to say that it's definitely true. And even if it were true, we know that that's true when it comes to alcohol. And yet alcohol is still perfectly legal. And there's still plenty of women who are pregnant who maybe have a drink here or there. And we use, basically we judge people socially maybe if they're over drinking and they're pregnant, but we don't make it illegal. And I think that's what we need to do with marijuana. It's very interesting how all the things that we say, the things that are said against marijuana, every one of them is more true when applied to alcohol, to prescription drugs, and to smoking cigarettes. So if all those things are legal, how can we possibly use those arguments against marijuana? It just doesn't make any sense.
Ask him a question.
The marijuana did end up creating a barrier between an opioid and between my system and my son's system, so it ended up keeping him from having further issues.
Yeah, and that's great. And I was just trying to use pregnancy as an example of, we don't know all the information for sure. We need to do more research. But at the same time, if you take the example of pregnancy, we already know that alcohol can have a negative effect on pregnancy, and yet we don't make that illegal. So there's so many bad arguments out there against marijuana because they're being used in a way that's just not fair, because you have other things like liquor and cigarettes that are more addictive.
Lonnie, you got Amy all excited here because she used to work for Breakwater, so she's probably going to want to be your receptionist wherever you go. So
she's
she's really good. And
I don't know about being.
Did you have a question for him? Did you have a question for him?
Yes.
Chad, I don't know if maybe. All right. Well, listen, we have to cut it short because we have to go to Weedman's trial. Ed Fortune's trial is like right now. We're heading over to the courthouse. Wow. Yeah, we're heading to the courthouse now. So, let's continue this conversation next Thursday if that's okay. We have more time.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. What's your website?
Yeah, no, that's really important. I'm glad that you guys are going to that.
Yeah. Thank you. Do you have a website that we can talk about real quick?
Sure.
Talk about it.
What's your website?
So the website is theholisticcenter.org. The center is CENTRE. And on the website, there's one page called Myth versus Fact. And that goes over pretty much every single myth that you've probably heard about marijuana. It goes over it and explains why that's not a good argument against the legalization of marijuana. Another page is it says why legalize, and it just explains the major overarching reasons for why legalization is clearly the right thing to do in New Jersey and across the country. Then there's a page called Take Action, which is it gives you a script for what to say. A lot of people don't realize my background is in political science, and it's incredibly important that we call our representatives. People don't think that it matters, but as someone who's worked in countless offices for people, it absolutely does. Hearing from constituents is incredibly important. I'm hearing from multiple people that they are not hearing from many constituents on this issue, legalization. And so we need to make our voices heard. I know a lot of people, they don't feel comfortable making these calls. They're not used to doing it. So I put a script on that site to show you exactly, something that you can't say to someone over the phone. But it also has a list of all the U.S. senators in the New Jersey legislature and tells you what their thoughts are currently on legalization, whether they're pro or opposed. And it has their phone number and their email on that page. So you can very easily call or email them and tell them what you think. And then lastly, there's a page called Project SAM. Project SAM is what I would say is the number one organization that's currently opposed to legalization of marijuana across the country. They are a very well-organized organization. They're also very well-funded. And the head of their team is Kevin Liberte, who you might have heard of. He was actually at a recent meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus in New Jersey. He's really pushing hard to stop legalization in New Jersey. But the truth is, he's just really full of shit. The guy does not really care about minority issues. He says that he does, but that's a recent marketing.
Yeah, we could do a whole show on Kevin. We could do a whole show on Kevin Sabet. I met him, had him on the show already.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk next week about him and all these other prohibitionists in New Jersey. We got a lot to talk about, man. We got to cut it short. We're going to Weedman's trial. So Lonnie, thank you so much for being on our show, and we'll talk to you next week, bro. Thank you.
Sounds good. Talk to you next week.
Thanks, man. Bye-bye. All right. Our list begins now with Cheryl Miller. The reason why I got into activism was for Cheryl Miller. I got into activism because I wanted pot to be legal, just because I wanted to smoke pot back in the day. Then I met Cheryl Miller, and that was my first medical cannabis patient that I ever met. I'm not taking any more calls. Sorry, guys. We're done for the day. So, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, take a shirt. Take a shirt, please. Take a shirt. So Cheryl Miller was my first patient that I've ever seen up close, how cannabis helped her. I kind of changed my feeling now about legalization. I just want to help the patients now because the patients are being left out. Everyone sees dollar signs and nobody's caring about the patients anymore. And they're going to be last in line on the dispensary. You'll have all these healthy people at the dispensary and then people in wheelchairs that can't even get into some places, from what I hear. We'll see. We'll find out together. Sabina Rose had a 15-month-old baby, had a 25-hour seizure. I've seen people have like a seizure for a few minutes, and that's scary. Just for a few minutes. Can you imagine having a 25-hour seizure, like a 15-month-old baby? You've seen it? You have seizures? For how long is your seizures, John? 5 minutes? Yeah, it's scary. It's scary as hell. Imagine for... it's Poor girl. Yeah. She couldn't get her card. They made her see a psychiatrist at 15 months. At a year old, they wanted her to see a psychiatrist. Good job. Yeah. Yeah.
Who does medicinal marijuana cards now? There is a psychiatrist that sees children that does specifically medicinal marijuana cards for him.
Diane Ripatella, Gracie, Cindy May, Marie, Jack, Joan Ford, Randy Robertson, Polly Connolly, Bill Buckman, Chad, Jeremy, Joanne's husband, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ Perry, Roger Barber, Jay Orletto, Ella Bagelman, Hattie Koshel, Jackie Rickard, Anthony, Armando, Lynn Platshorn, Michael Dillon. Oh my goodness! It's the mayor of Oceanport. How are you, sir? You got a second or no? You got to go. We're at the end of our show anyway. We got to go to court now anyway. But I want to talk to you about some stuff when we can. You're a good guy. That's the mayor of Oceanport. Jeff's giving you a hard time. I know. We're going to talk to him. He's a little rough on you, I think. Jeff is his constituent down there. Jeff's got cancer. He's fighting to get a dispensary down at the military base down there. So, yeah, that's a whole thing. I wish I can grab him, but we're at the end of the show. But that was nice. See, this is why we're here Thursdays. Thursdays we see. He's also the city attorney for Bayonne. So I've met him doing the wheelchair war. But we got to end the show. So Michael Dillon is our last name on the list, and he had drop seizures. He died from a drop seizure. And he never woke up when he fell down and hit his head. So we're sorry. That's Honeybee's son from Sativa Cross West. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember.